We were making fun of this bullied kid. She deserved it. She was like in 7th grade and she wrote like an original song about how hard it is to be in 7th grade.
You are just bullying a 7th grader.
Hold on now. First, she's fine because she's on TV and she doesn't even know who I am.
Hi, welcome to Tablestop. This is a podcast where four best friends talk about board games, video games, and random BS. I'm Dan.
I'm Ritter.
I'm Rainey.
And I'm Kyle.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
What do you want? You invited us here.
No
now
one...
you're in their house with all this stuff here. What are you doing over there? Think you're golfing? Look at Mr. Golf Pants over here with your golf sticks. That's what they are, right? Sticks?
Those are just regular pants.
So when you have a cabbie, that's just like the squire for golf, right?
Hello, my lord. Here is your 9-iron. Please slay the dragon.
Also, it's a caddy, not a cabbie. A cabbie
Whatever.
is a cab driver.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they do the same. The cart, they drive a cart.
Beep, beep.
What if it's the
I didn't
same
drive
job
the cart.
description? They do the same thing. It's just on weekends they're like caddies. And
Why can't a
on
caddy be a
weekdays,
caddy?
They're
Have
cabbies.
you guys never been a caddy before? Because I was a caddy once, and you don't know.
Were you also a squire?
You just hold the little bag with all the little sticks in it, and they go, "Hey, give me this stick," and you do.
But wait, you can't drive. How are you a cabbie?
I wasn't a cabbie.
What was this, taxi driver? Was Danny DeVito there?
What is this?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what I want to see, like crazy caddy, and it's like a guy who's like on a golf cart, but it like doesn't go fast. It just like goes the speed of a regular golf cart.
Hey,
just
they
kinda,
can go pretty fast.
I've never driven one.
Oh, well, it shows.
You fool.
They do not.
Do they have speeds?
Hey, mine.
Yeah,
the one I was
they
in
can go
went
up, like,
pretty
60
fast,
miles
but
an
then
hour.
again, the brakes were broken.
No, they can't.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you put like a V8 engine in it, what even engines do they have? Are they
Like
electric?
little motor ones. Little electric ones.
AA battery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 1.5 volt then. Gotcha.
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah. All right.
Squire, fetch me my 9-iron.
Yeah, you still didn't answer my question. So when the dude's up on his horse, and he's got that's what the dude is who carries all his junk, like that he helps him up on the horse. I think you can have like multiple squires if you're like high enough knighthood, and they like get you on the horse when you're in your armor, and they like get you off your horse, and they give you your swords.
So does Tiger Woods get followed around by an entourage of caddies then?
You know what? I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you are a higher tier golfer, you probably have multiple cabbies.
You have
I
a
don't think
trumpeter,
that's how it works. I think
caddy.
they only have one.
Right. You got to like announce him.
Yeah.
And play in your fanfare.
Flag bearer caddy.
Right, the guy who puts the flag up in the hole for the thing.
Well,
Are there like feudal lords above these golfers that like own the golf courses and they send the golfers out to protect the golf courses from the other golf courses? Is there like a king at the top of this pyramid of golf nobles and golf lords and golf counts?
Yeah, it's the country club.
Is there like an NGA?
Yeah,
Is there like
really,
a national golfing league thing?
Yeah, that's what
that's
Tiger
a big
Woods
golf
is
thing.
it?
Tiger Woods is actually the only golfer with 2 caddies. One of them is just to delete his text history, though.
Oh, did he get a thing?
We haven't
Did he have
forgotten
something happen
Tiger.
for texts?
Oh, he
forgotten.
cheated on his like supermodel wife with a bunch of ladies.
Oh.
Like so many. Like they were just crawling out of like the walls like I had sex with Tiger Woods. No, it was like that scene with Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
But they were all actually telling the truth.
I see.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of people on the golf course anymore don't even use golf carts. They use segways.
What?
do they?
No, they
not a thing.
don't.
No,
You can't ride a
was
Segway
a
when you've been day
bad-
drinking.
It was a bad attempt to
Wait,
to use
do golfers
the
go out
Segway.
drunk?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the whole point. You get
absolutely.
drunk
No.
and you
Jesus
play golf.
Christ, they
Seems
drink so much
horribly
beer.
dangerous.
I don't
Yeah.
know, they drink beer and they swing a stick and hit a ball with it.
That's the only way to make it fun.
At like 180 miles an hour.
What?
Well, I mean, make sure
What do
no
you-
one else is on the hole that they're golfing on.
Yeah, they're hitting the
I'm
ball.
gonna look up average speed of a golf ball. I'm gonna see what the heck that is because it's probably not slow because you got all that force multiplied by the stick.
I don't know what started this golf discussion, but I love it.
Welcome to the Golfcast.
Ah,
We're
you
four
called
best
Dan's
golfers.
pants golf pants.
Right.
I'm not even wearing golf
Those are
pants.
just jeans.
Yeah, I mean you could golf in jeans.
No, I wouldn't golf in
Just faded
jeans. You want to wear some
Nah.
shorts on that one.
Oh, I got average speed of a human, 28 miles an hour.
How is that average?
That's not average.
That doesn't seem correct.
That's like the top running speed of like Usain Bolt.
Maximum running. Google, you have lied to me. It says average speed, maximum running is now 28. Still pretty dang quick.
Man, can I say I would not wear shorts golfing because you have to go into that tall grass to get your ball. There might be ticks.
Just get good. Just get good. Stay out of the tall grass.
I would most certainly wear regular people pants.
Uh-huh. They can hit speeds greater than 111 miles an hour. That's like 1%, but the average is like 96 miles an hour.
That's
Yeah,
like
but if-
That's how fast people like throw baseballs, and
Yeah, if
people
your
are
ball
still
goes
drunk.
like off kilter, you yell 4, and everyone's like, "Oh, watch out!"
Ah.
Yeah,
For what?
For Scottish, that's how Scottish you have to be to golf.
You have to be 4 Scots before you can golf?
Yes, you have to go. I'm Scottish.
you remember that Scottish golfer villain on Kim Possible?
I don't know anything you just said there.
Kim Possible had the best villains, and one of them was literally a Scottish golfer, like the most stereotypical Scottish golfer, and he had like exploding golf balls that he would like shoot at her.
Is golfing a Scottish thing?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
developed in Scotland
Was it
way
now?
back in the day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Think
All
about
those
it. You're
rolling
hitting a
hills.
rock with a stick. What's more Scottish than that? I think it's Scotland that like people just pick up logs and throw them as a sport.
Well, I expect
Yeah,
that
yeah,
from
yeah.
Scotland, but golf is like the most boring sport I can think of. I would think something more exciting.
Well, you get
from-
drunk throughout the day, and you get progressively more angry while you hit this tiny rock into a hole with
Okay,
a
when you
stick.
factor the anger
Yeah.
into it, I could see that. Sorry, any listeners from Scotland
And or golfers.
or golfers.
Don't
I will not
apologize to the
apologize for
golfers.
the
They
golf
know what
game.
they did.
I will not apologize to Tiger Woods. You know exactly what you did.
Tiger, just cool your jets, Tiger. You're at like an 11. You need to rock it back to like a 7.
I didn't even know it was still a thing.
Is he
if you
still
were-
golfing? Is he still relevant?
Yeah, he is actually.
Oh.
Also, is it controversial to say that I don't think sex addiction is like a real disease? I think people make it up so they can like fuck.
Brave.
Is
Brave.
that controversial? Is that a
I-
controversial
No,
opinion?
everybody knows it.
Because like he used that as like I have a sex addiction, so that's why. No, you don't. You made that up. All y'all made that up. It's not like you're foolish.
Did
I
you
was
see
just so
they
annoyed.
officially recognized a gaming addiction
I did
as
see that actually.
a like legitimate addiction that you can
I
suffer
also
from?
think that's pretty absurd. It's more believable than sex addiction, but
yeah,
it's
because
still
gambling
pretty
is
absurd.
a thing. Like gambling,
yeah.
people throw literally all of their money. If you can actually throw all of your money away into a thing that you cannot eat, that I think you can consider that an addiction.
You know what? You're right. Games with like loot boxes and stuff like that, and like pay to play games, I can see how that would be classified as an addiction.
Well,
I was
you
thinking like just like Skyrim or something.
You could absolutely get addicted to playing Skyrim. If you play Skyrim to the point where you don't eat, you have developed an addiction.
There's those stories of like Korean World of Warcraft players like literally starving to death in internet cafes because they're doing raids for like 2 or 3 weeks straight.
That's just wild to me.
Like
I can't imagine.
I'd get bored.
yeah.
I'd get so bored.
It's a thing in the brain.
But I guess yeah,
Brain
if it
is
tickles
weird.
your brain right.
Yeah, the loot box thing I see is a separate issue from the gaming addiction thing, because that is just gambling.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
just
just gambling.
It's like outlawed in some countries for
Australia.
being gambling.
Australia's one of
Yeah.
them.
Hopefully U.S. That'd be nice.
That's
Yeah,
the
they're
main
working
problem
on
I
it.
have with Fortnite. That's the main issue I have with Fortnite. A lot of people don't like Fortnite because they're like, oh man, those kids and their Fortnite and their flossing and stuff. But I've never been one to hate the younger generation for their silly little trends because we have all had them. But the fact that Fortnite relies
Hogs for
so
life.
heavily on like loot boxes and paying exorbitant amounts for skins and everything, it gets these kids into like this gambling and mindset very young. Like you get like 8, 9-year-olds that are like, just buy me the Fortnite skin. Just give me some money for loot boxes for Christmas and stuff like that. And it's like, that's insane to me. Even like as young as like Hannah's niece is about 4 years old, and for Christmas she asked for a YouTuber's like loot box toy that he started selling. It's like this famous YouTuber kid who like does a bunch of like unboxing videos and like toy videos and everything that she's like 4 and she's obsessed with. And for Christmas, that's what she asked for. He has like these $90 like surprise eggs, and you see the surprise egg trend happening a lot with kids. Like a lot of kids' toys nowadays are like, which one are you gonna get? Open this egg and see, and stuff like that. And that's all going back to that loot box mentality. A lot of people don't think about it that way, but it really is. It's all preparing them and getting them into this gambling mindset super early.
We had that stuff too when we were kids.
Yeah,
like
but
the little
it's become
gotcha
like a
machines.
huge new trend. Like
Just a
the
different
gumball
medium.
machines were different, but these are like pricey, incredibly pricey, and it's like all the most popular toys right now are those surprise egg or loot box toys. Like they are. Like if you talk to any kids, those are the big things every kid wants right now. It's not like Barbies or like little figurines or stuff like that. It's all about those loot box style toys, and it's from like 3 clear to like 15.
Remember that thing you get at Origins? Like $20, it was a gigantic dang box of things.
Yeah, surprise packs. Yeah, and they've always been pretty. I know when God, first year we went to Origins, they had that guy was selling those $20 surprise bags. And they were just full of like $1 junk, but I bought like 3 of them. And I shouldn't have. I know. It really is just like, it sucks you in, and it's not good,
Poor
though.
Rainey has fallen victim.
Maybe this is me being an
yeah.
old timer, but like every time I see like one of those surprise things, I'm like, I want the thing that I want. I don't. The whole opening
I
up a
agree.
box and seeing what I get doesn't have any appeal whatsoever to me.
I
I'm with you
agree
on that
completely. And they get more money out of you because like instead of just buying one of each toy like you have to continuously buy the surprise egg to try to get the most rare one. Like if your kid's like, I want the purple one the most, and the purple one has a 1 in 1,000 rate of being in that fucking egg, you just have to keep buying them. You can't just buy the purple one. Like with Barbie, if you're like, oh, I want swimsuit Barbie, just buy. Can you imagine if Barbie was like loot box style?
Loot box Barbie.
Are you gonna
Barbie,
get
oh,
formal Barbie? Or are you gonna get veterinarian Barbie? Maybe
I
ask
give
just
them
them
got
an idea.
Barbie.
pregnant
We
with
don't know.
Barbie with the weird creepy stomach that you open up and the baby's inside. Yeah.
It's just
They
like
did that
insane.
with Matchbox cars. Do you remember those? They'd be like an all black package.
Yeah, I
one
was like,
thing,
that's
be
dumb.
mystery
I want
Matchbox
the card
cars.
that I want.
It's just, it's great. It definitely forces you to spend more money on it. Or you have to pay like an incredibly overpriced like price online because they've put this fictional value on a different color of one of their weird little creatures or something.
Well, I mean, the scarcity breeds demand.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same principle as booster packs for trading card games, just applied to more things in life.
Yeah,
And-
literal same thing.
It's just stressful. I know when like Hannah was telling me that's what her niece wanted for Christmas, I was like, whoa, that's insane. Like a $90 surprise egg from this boy YouTuber that just opens up other toys. The fact that I've had a whole nother rant about how the kids are like insane about watching unboxing videos on YouTube now too, but that's a whole
That seems
nother
like it's been in trend
thing.
for years
I
now.
like
my God,
unboxing
yeah.
things.
My baby
There are
brother,
still some of those I watch.
yeah, but my baby brother from 1 to 3, all he would do was sit there for hours, like hours.
It is.
And just sit there and watch other kids or adults open up toys. And he'd just be absolutely entranced. It got to the point where, like, by the time he was like 4, I would catch him doing mock unboxing videos alone in his room. Like, he'd be alone in his room with a toy, like, hey guys, today I'm doing it. And I was like, hey buddy, how you doing in here?
Never
Like, it
got
was
the
weird.
appeal of unboxing things. Like
I don't either.
I've been trying to look up like at certain points in the past. I've tried to look up reviews of something, maybe like
Yeah.
a throwing knife or something. I was just trying to find, and I would just find plethoras of these unboxing videos of these people just like taking it out of the package, just doing it so slow, and then get to the review in like the last like 2 minutes of it, like wrapping it up, like, oh, it's okay, it's good, it's sharp, it's balanced, that's it. Like, what? Like 15 minute
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it may be a little different because the main unboxing things that I have watched have been for Beyblades, and then admittedly a few of the things for Gundam kits, but that's because I want to see like what mechanics or gimmicks they throw in. But Beyblades is, at least the guy unboxes, he's like, yo, check this, I got this thing, here's all the parts, here's what this tip is supposed to do, here's a few launches.
You know what? Actually, I lied. I have watched like unboxing videos, but it's always for like Warhammer stuff, and it's like I want to see what's on that sprue.
Exactly. What bits
So,
you're getting is
I want to see.
important.
Yeah, I could see looking at it from that angle, but as a kid, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like how when we were kids, we had like the Sears catalog for Christmas, and we would just like see like all of the toys on that like sick like 10-page spread, and just go, "Oh man, I want that GI Joe, and I want that race car track. Oh, it's so cool."
That's like market research, though. That's not just like looking at something just for the sheer like lizard brain value of seeing something being open that you don't know what it's going to
True.
be.
Yeah, because
You know what?
like when I was a kid, the only time I looked through his catalogs is when my dad went, "Circle what you want for Christmas, I don't know," and I'd be like, "Okay, I'd like this and this and this," and then I'd hand it back. I didn't just like look through it for fun or anything.
Oh, I looked through
even.
it for fun for hours.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, you've got to be a minority in that because
I
I
probably
just
am.
only looked through it when I was like told to.
yeah.
Because like I would just like remember. You guys probably don't remember, but the big toy back whenever I was like 5 or 6 was Crash Test Dummies. There's a little plastic 3-inch models that you put together. Like they had arms that popped off and legs that popped off. It was all part of this national like click it or ticket initiative. And
Was that a safety thing?
it was a safety thing, but I loved it so much.
I had a
And
motorcycle of them.
I had the motorcycle, I had the truck, both of the cars, the Crash. I had a whole bunch. But that's beside the point, because the back of the package would have a preview of like all the other releases in that set. So like, oh man, there's the purple dude. He's real cool. Oh, that's a cool helicopter. Oh man, that's a cat and dog that flatten out when you run it over with the car. Real fucked up. Just now hitting me. Crash Test Dummies were real fucked up.
Yeah,
But
this is new to me.
Like, I would look at that and I don't know, maybe that's the same thing people get out of watching. I guess the mystery thing though.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. It's all very odd to me for sure. Like
Going back to the original thing though, that he mentioned though, the gaming addiction, like it, I think what they're addressing is something different from just the mystery gambling.
just kind of like a
thing.
general
Gambling
like
addiction
I
is
have been
different.
playing this video game for 12 like what game did you stop playing because you lost an entire like 2 weeks of your life?
Okay, this is a perfect time to bring this up. I will no longer play Skyrim in the entirety of my life because of this. There was a time at college to where we had this thing called J term in college. I'll make this quick as possible, I promise. Our first freshman year of college, when we had a winter break, we had to go back. We had our winter breaks for like 6 weeks or something like that. We only got 3 weeks on our freshman year because we had to go back the last 3 weeks and have something called J-term. It was like this little short class that we had to take. We just picked one and we had to be there for 3 weeks just for that class. But sophomore through senior year, the last 3 weeks were just ours. We just got all 6 weeks off. And I like to just stay at the college and just work at the local boiler room just so I could pay off my textbooks for that year. I just needed to get some extra income. And during those 3 weeks, me and my other roommate, we both did the same thing. We just stayed on campus and worked. The only things we did were eat, sleep, go to work, and then play Skyrim. We did nothing else for the entirety of those 3 weeks. And after it happened and school actually started back again, I just took a step back. Like, those 3 weeks, nothing else in my life happened but this game. I will swear off Skyrim for the rest of my life. I never touched it again. And how much of a blur those 3 weeks were. It was fun. It was. I loved Skyrim. I beat it. I played the crap out of it. I played like almost every single part of it. I didn't 100% complete it, but I just looking at it and seeing how much of my life not wasted, but just eaten up by that game, I can see how that gaming addiction thing is real. I really can.
That's fair. I mean, whenever I borrowed Red Dead Redemption 2, I played it like a lot. Like I would come home and play it as much as I could from work, but I never really felt like, oh, I'm addicted to this. And I don't look back on it and I'm like, man, I was like addicted. It was just fun. I was just having a good time. It was an enjoyable game. I played it whenever I had the time to, and it was a good time. A hobby I enjoyed.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I've never really had a super addictive personality. I do like those little surprise boxes, but I'm not like, I gotta have the fucking surprise box. Like, I just like them every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to like the little candy surprise bags and everything a lot more than just like picking out a couple things of candy. It's just like, ooh, what am I gonna get? But I never like felt like I'm addicted to this. I need it. I need my fix.
Oh, I felt that before games.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
Skyrim, I absolutely felt
Dang.
that. The entire time I was working in the boiler room, the only thing I could think of was, man, I gotta get back to Skyrim. Man, I gotta beat that giant that killed me. Man, I gotta explore that one cave. That's all I gotta do. I was just nothing on my mind but that.
Dang.
Because there was no other video game I can think of in my time that was as hyped as Skyrim was. When it
Skyrim
was
was
announced.
really hype. I remember
the
I was in
most hype
high
thing.
school at the time, and my good friend was like obsessed with it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Good times. It's been, maybe it's because I don't know, getting up there. I'm up there, but like, it's been probably since maybe
Yeah, it's
college. It's been since it's been one wish another. Anyways, it's been a really long time since
Has it?
a game.
Oh,
Do tell. Don't go on.
Nah,
No, don't give me that look. Go on.
it's been a really long time since a game was like, hey, this is all you're gonna think about. This is all you're gonna do. Like it
Stars.
What?
Stellaris.
Nah, Stars isn't like that.
Yeah, Star Wars is
Okay.
something you can just like leave for a
Yeah.
week and come back to. I have to agree with him on that one.
Like, I don't play games like I used to. I might have maybe 5 or 6 hours a week that I actually sit down and play a video game.
All right, fair. My objection is overruled.
Except
What I
for
need
what
to
I'm
do.
going to talk about in my haps.
Yeah.
But
man! Speaking of haps and video games, perhaps now is a good time to go into the hap time.
oh man,
the hap zone.
that's a strong
Hap
segue.
zone.
That's
Okay.
a fully charged segue.
It's a regular old good segue.
Wait, are Segways electric?
Yes.
Yeah.
Saving the environment, except for you got to, like, you know, make that electricity.
Paul
but,
Blart knew what was up.
man, if Paul Blart was here, what would you
Paul
ask
Blart
him?
from Die Hard?
Paul Blart from Die Hard.
Paul
Yes.
Blart, I would ask him, what was it like inspiring the movie Die Hard?
Paul Blart would have been like, listen,
Uh-huh.
my name's Kevin James.
My
Paul
name is
Blart was a
Kevin James.
character, and he was a mistake.
What was it like working with Bruce Willis?
No, that wasn't me. I'm Kevin James. I've never worked with...
Did you actually have to bandage your foot when you walked on all of that glass?
That was Die Hard. My name is Kevin James. I was in Paul Blart Mall Club. And Paul Blart Mall Club.
That was
Kevin-
Die Hard. My name is Kevin James.
Kevin,
I
did you
did
have to
not-
wear a bald cap during the filming, or did you shave your head for it?
The lines are
That's
blurred.
pretty
Again, my name is Kevin James. You're thinking about Bruce Willis? Kevin, how'd you lose so much weight for Die Hard? How'd you
Kevin,
get so ripped, Kevin
Really,
James?
we should be asking Bruce Willis how he gained so much weight.
Bruce Willis, why are you always in cargo shorts? Why are you never not wearing cargo
That's
shorts?
the other American actor. His name is Kevin James.
How long did it take you to grow that mustache, Bruce Willis?
Oh,
Right.
hey,
So anyway,
Segway.
hey, Ritter,
what?
what have you been up to?
None of your business.
Ooh.
All right.
That was short for Ritter's part.
Right. Right.
All right, Rainey, what do you...
Quickest taps this side of something and others.
Hapsville.
Been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, getting ready for the new expansion that's coming out. They got Shadowbringers coming. It's going to raise level cap from 70 to 80. Going to add 2 new jobs, add the 2 new races. Bring a lot of changes to how every single class plays at the moment. A lot of classes are losing abilities. A lot of classes are gaining abilities. And a lot of rotations are changing. So that should be interesting to see. I'm just trying to get to the point where when it actually releases, I'll be able to play it. Where they had Stormblood was the last one come out like 2 years ago. I still haven't gotten to it yet.
Is 14 that old?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
14's
That was
been
like a
around
very
since...
Wow.
new thing.
No, it's been around for a while. Everyone knows the thing that happened when it first released, and it was awful, and they're like, oh, snap. We put out an awful thing. Let's fix this real quick. It would be like the equivalent of if
No
the
Man's
people
Sky?
in Bio... What?
I was.
No Man's Sky.
No, I was thinking
I don't know
Anthem.
nothing
I
about
think he
No
was going for
Man's Sky.
Anthem.
Yeah, he was going
Oh,
for Anthem,
okay.
but
Yeah.
both...
Exactly. It would be if they pulled Anthem right now, and were like, give us a couple years,
They
and
should.
then
Man,
fixed
do I
it and
wish.
put it out, and it was the best thing ever.
Man, do I wish.
Man, EA, just stop.
Yeah.
They could have done...
Tiny segue. They actually came out with that Cataclysm, like that big, like they came out with that tiny
Tiny segue.
quote unquote raid event that they were going for,
Uh-huh.
and it was very underwhelming from what I heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, the fact that it's
God,
going
that's
free to play is
heartbreaking.
pretty much the thing where they're like, yeah, we gave up.
that's so heartbreaking. I was so obsessed and so in love, and I'm still very heartbroken by that. But
But that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the same. That's almost the level of catastrophe that it was whenever Final Fantasy XIV first came out.
That's impressive.
Can I segue off the segue real quick? Just an even smaller segue.
Oh,
dang.
man.
So, remember this. Remember this feeling you
Remember
have
me.
right now in your hearts. Remember how bad Anthem burned you.
Yes.
And use it.
Okay.
Use it to never, ever, ever, ever pre-order anything EA's ever done. Even though it was BioWare, it's still EA.
Can I say this changes nothing about how unbelievably pure whole body hype I am for Death Stranding?
the
It changes
trailer.
absolutely
Yeah.
nothing at all.
I don't
so
understand
sorry.
anything. I don't want to segue too
I've
hard,
learned nothing.
but did you watch that trailer?
It
I
changes
did not.
nothing about my understanding for the game. I'm still
That ladder was
confused.
cool. That
I
ladder was
gotta
so
say,
cool.
Kyle's gonna be shocked by this. I haven't had a chance to look up and watch the trailer yet, even though I've been obsessively watching every other trailer they've popped out and like forming wild conspiracy theories. I've been busy. I haven't got a chance
You
to
were like
look
the
up the new
biggest
trailer
proponent
yet.
of us all for that game.
I know, and
Yeah.
trust me. After this podcast, I'm immediately gonna look it up because I keep just forgetting. I'm busy whenever I remember, and then I forget whenever I'm not busy. So I haven't got a chance to look it up yet. But man, am I about to look it up, and I'm just gonna it's gonna be like math going on in my head, like trying
So,
to like piece together
Like that
conspiracy
meme picture
theories.
where the
Exactly
person's
like
looking
that
really
meme picture.
concerned and like geometry's happening and
Yes.
trigonometry's occurring.
I've already got theories, man. Like I am full on like crazy. Like I'm about to build a bunker and only play Death Stranding, and it kind of like conspiracy theory.
It's a
person
9-minute
right
trailer.
now.
You're gonna have a lot to chew on.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And there's a lot of gameplay, too.
I need to watch it.
You at least know that it's a third-person kind of walking simulator with some combat, it looks
I'm
like.
glad they showed at least some
Nice.
combat because I was getting worried
Yeah,
that it
I was
was
like,
just
this
a
is
pick
just
up and
gonna be a
deliver
walking
kind of thing.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Sorry to segue even more, but I do gotta watch that. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting when I'm not busy.
So does that still reflect your theory that it's not going to live up to its hype, that it's been too overhyped? That it's
I'm
just
still
not
going to
ever
be
gonna
on it.
Oh yeah, I'm still
Full hype,
completely
full
on that.
hype.
It's either going to be a 1 or a 10, and either way, it's going to be worth playing.
I'm already ready for it to be an 11. Like I'm already fully committed. I will die on this hill. It is going to be 11 out of 10. You cannot change my mind.
If it somehow does well, I guarantee that none of the questions in the story are going to be answered.
I hope
You're
not.
going to leave that game, finish it completely, and still be as confused as when you came in.
If this is the most perfect game in the world, Kyle's just going to wake up to me teabagging him one day.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Get wrecked.
So 14?
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
That's about it for the Final Fantasy 14. I'm interested to see what they do with the rotations. A lot of people are mad because they think that healers are going to become boring. Because right now, healer's kind of hectic because you're expected to DPS while you're keeping everybody alive.
Really? There's not like a dedicated, like, you heal, just watch everybody's health bar.
No, that's what it's sort of leaning to. But right now, no. You can do that and make a dungeon take like 20 minutes longer than it normally would.
Oh,
or you
God.
can help. And,
So
not.
when you said rotations, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so you're playing monk. You have a monk, especially, is probably the most categorical. You have a rotation and you stick to it. When you do your first attack, it's boot shine, where he does like a flurry of punches. That puts you into a form. It's like raptor form or something like that. And now you have access to 2 other moves that you couldn't use before. And this is either one that does a good amount of damage or one that increases your damage for 10 seconds. So you hit that one. So now you have a damage buff, and that switches you into another form, and now you can do a third move that you could not do. And now this one can either do damage or put a damage over time on somebody. And you put damage over time, and now you're back to your original form.
So this is kind of an MMO, kind of?
Oh yeah, it's 100% MMO.
Yeah, Final
Oh, I didn't
Fantasy
know
14
that.
is the MMO.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always assume Final Fantasy is like single player, or like turn-based role-playing game.
No. Well, I mean, there's most of them, except for like 15, that's not really turn-based. Well, to a point, I guess you could call it. It's more like action RPG at that point. But, yeah, if you're talking like 6 or 7 or even 1 or 2, that's all, turn-based, what you're thinking of, stereotypical.
Okay.
But they had 11 was an MMO, which is still possibly running. Need fact check on that one, but 14 is definitely running. It's one of the more popular MMOs in the world at the moment.
Really?
They're claiming 16 million players.
Wow.
So I don't know how many WoW has. WoW is obviously more, just because it's been going for so much longer. Has such a dedicated player base, and they're doing that WoW Classic thing. Which I don't even know what that is.
I was just going back to vanilla WoW.
I guess.
7 servers for that.
Let's take everything that we've improved on and take it back to square one real quick.
It's kind of funny because I've seen a couple articles of people complaining about bugs in the game that are actually just features from classic WoW itself.
Right.
That people have just expected to be fixed by this point.
Yeah. No, that was there.
Yeah, yeah.
You asked for this. This is what you wanted.
I never
you
actually
go.
played vanilla WoW, did you?
No.
I did.
Oh.
Oh, you did?
Oh, did you?
I played it way back then.
Really?
We had 56K, and every time a patch would load, like a patch would happen, we would take my brother's laptop, drive downtown, find somebody with an unprotected Wi-Fi password, allegedly,
Allegedly.
and we'd sit there and wait for the 2 or 3 gig patch to download. Otherwise, we wouldn't be playing Warcraft for about a week.
Jeez.
But yeah,
Oh.
I did.
I started playing at, I think, Burning Crusade. No, it was Wrath of the Lich King was when I started playing.
I remember when that came out. Yeah. I think Burning Crusade, I went to the midnight release with my brother.
Nice.
Because he was really into it. He was always into MMOs. I remember we played this old one called, what is it? Betrayal of Camelot or Dark Ages of Camelot. That's the one.
Mm.
That almost sounds familiar.
It's the one that had there's 3 countries. And there was a big PvP area in between the 3, and there was siege equipments and towers and castles.
That sounds
and
fun.
whoever held the middle, their entire side of the their entire country, if you started in that country, you get a big buff to experience and stuff.
Huh.
It was really neat.
You know what that reminds me of? The game I've never mentioned yet. I'm sorry to get too off track of what you're talking about, Ritter. For Honor. I don't know if you guys have tried For Honor. I think
it was free.
It was
and
free?
I have it right now on PSN.
Oh, really?
I had to wait for a whole bunch of patches and stuff, which minor complaint to modern gaming. I just want to play the game. But
that was a game that came out, and it wasn't as broken as Final Fantasy XIV or Anthem, from what I've heard and experienced firsthand. But it was still pretty bad. The servers were really bad. I got that game the day it came out because I was obsessed with seeing how that combat system would work out, and it is to this day my favorite melee combat system I've seen in a game. It's
really good.
It's set in an alternate world.
It's a fighting game.
Yeah,
I've seen.
It's set in an
I'm
alternate
aware.
world for anybody that's not familiar with it out there. It's knights versus samurai versus Vikings. It's an alternate history timeline to where a big cataclysm happened on the Earth. It changed the landscape, everything. There was a big apocalypse happened, and everybody's stuck in the Dark Ages. And it's just these 3 factions fighting against one another for just whatever little resources are left. And it's just a online fighting arena where you just play as any of these factions, and it's been out for maybe about 1.5 years or 2 years at this point.
I believe 2 years.
They actually added the Chinese. I forgot about that. They added the Chinese in a big, really big DLC expansion pack for it. They've added tons of heroes and stuff to it, and it's really improved. It's a really good game. I just haven't played it recently, but I was obsessed with it when it first came out. It's a really good game.
I'll play it with you.
You play with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
you
free
see-
last month or 2 months ago on PSN.
Nice.
Did you see Mordhau at all?
Yes, I saw
I've
that
seen a
one.
little bit about Mordhau. I know there's that meme about cowards kill people playing instruments.
I don't know anything about it.
It
I
looks
think
like
it's gonna be
Chivalry.
Mountain Blade or Chivalry, yeah.
It looks more like Chivalry the Mountain Blade.
I know you can do the thing where you hold the sword by the blade and impale the guy with the pommel.
That's always a favorite move.
That's a thing in For Honor too.
Yeah, that's how you know they've studied and actually gone back and been like, oh, this is how they use the sword. All right.
That was one of the signature starting moves when the game first came out for the Warden, the main knight class.
Yeah.
That's his baseline execution, is he just turns around the sword and just stabs a guy in the neck with the hilt.
Yep. Yeah, that shows they've done their research.
There was a meme for the longest time too of the ending him rightly meme, to where there was like an old manuscript that showed a dude unscrewing the pommel of his sword and throwing it at the guy as like an actual weapon. And they added that in For Honor as an actual execution. Like the dude like stabs him, takes him down to the ground, and the knight just unscrews his pommel and hits him right in the face with it, like throws it at him, and then just takes another one out of his pocket, screws it back on.
Right. As you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody out there that wants to try it, though, For Honor has an amazing combat system. I'd definitely recommend it at this point. They've drastically improved it.
Yeah, I've seen. I've just never gotten into. The only sort of MOBA things that I got into was like Smite, and I played that just a very small amount when I say into. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen videos of people playing the MOBA version. It works well. I mean, whenever you meet another big guy, it just turns into a fighting game. And
right.
then you're going through creeps and trying to capture points.
I forgot they do have to actually have that, like, MOBA mode. It's called, like, Dominion, where you have a bunch of regular creeps just going towards a position and whatnot. There's not even any towers or anything, just holding areas, but most of the ones I played were just skirmish where you just fight other people. There's no creeps or nothing. You just go on a map and just fight one another. There's duels where you can just fight one-on-one because the combat system is that robust. Like, you can just go on into a duel and just test your mettle.
Right.
Test your mettle.
I see you.
Got anything else over there, Ritter?
Nah, that'll just about cover it.
How's Final Fantasy 3 going?
Still happening. It's still there. Every now and then I go and I beat like one more dungeon piece and find one more party member because all my dudes are like scattered to the wind.
They do scatter after a certain point, don't they?
Yeah, it's like the I don't know many other Final Fantasies that I can think of. Like 10 doesn't really do that. There's not like a point where you got to go get your whole team back together.
Yeah,
you're down to just one dude.
They're always like 10 because all your inactive party members can jump into battle, which was always a weird thing for me in those older Final Fantasies. Like, I got like 8 people, but I got 3 fighting right now.
Right. Well, 3 you leave them on the boat. They just stay in the airship.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
So it's a thing. But yeah, having them all traveling as a party and being able to fight whenever you want them to be in there is a neat battle system.
It makes sense. It's very thematic, for sure.
I enjoy. As much as turn-based can be thematic.
What's your favorite Final Fantasy that you've played other than the MMOs? Like your normal, standard, single-player Final Fantasy?
Probably 7.
That's usually the one. I think I like 7
more than 10.
Yep.
If I had to say.
That's fair.
Yeah, 10 was good. 10 was very neat. I just, I have a tendency to gravitate towards the main character. That if it's got a cool main character, then I am in for it.
And Titus isn't that cool?
He's not as cool as Cloud.
Nah.
He just is not. I'm not 100% sure. Well, that's the thing with 3 is like, who is your main character? You don't know. I don't really have one.
Yeah.
It can go any way. It's not just one dude's story. It's multiple people's story.
Did you ever play 9?
No.
You should pick it up sometime.
9.
9's got Stein. It's got, I forget what the main character's name is, but he's got like a cool monkey tail.
I have 12 and I've never played it.
12 is the one with,
Vaughn.
12 was good. I didn't care much for Vaughn, but he sort of like was the main character for all about 10 seconds, and then the pirate guy comes up, and it's like, okay, the pirate guy's the main character now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I didn't beat it. I got pretty far into it though.
Yeah, that's as much as I've got. That's the same with like even watching shows. Is like I've got to like the main character, and if I don't, I just cannot really watch it. I'll just get out of it. Like there was one, it was like Excel World or something, was this anime? And like the main character is like this little pudgy dude. But like he goes into a virtual reality and he's like a cool hero guy. But still, in real life, he's a little pudgy dude.
Why you gotta hate on a little pudgy dude?
I don't want to be a little pudgy dude.
I'm a little pudgy dude. Same hat?
All right.
Almost all of us are little pudgy dudes.
Yeah, we are.
Well, that's what, I don't want to watch a thing about me. We'll watch it about a cooler guy.
Live vicariously through Pudgy Dude.
Pudgy Dude will take you to the promised land. Follow Pudgy Dude.
This has gone off the rails and I've completely lost anything. So, I'm done here. All right. Take it away. Take the suffering. I do not
Rainy,
Me?
what's up? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
What have you been up to?
Well, I guess I'll go from like latest to earliest. I started watching Charmed. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last podcast
Yeah, you
or not. I've given up on that instantly.
Oh,
I
bad
forgot.
show?
I forgot just how much it kind of sucks. It's not bad, but it's very like 90s kind of like
Yeah.
The 90s was a
drama
thing.
show. It's very like 90s drama kind of shit. And each episode is like 45 minutes long. And there's 22 episodes in a season. And there's like 10 or 11 seasons. And I was just like, I hadn't even got like halfway through the first season. And I felt like it was a chore that I was doing to watch it. And I was like, I don't want to binge this show. I need to find another show. I must move on. I cannot get bogged down by Charmed. So I gave up on that pretty quickly. But America's Got Talent is back, and Hannah and I absolutely love sitting there and watching the auditions and judging hard. Just judging so hard.
Here's a real question.
Yes.
Do people watch after that point?
Hannah and I do not know, and I'm not sure if anyone else does either. We usually just Google who wins, but at the end of the show.
Fair.
And we're like, oh, we saw that guy's audition. He was good. But we do not watch past the auditions. God, I love when terrible people get up there, and I will be the biggest judgy judgerton in the world watching that show. Like they're like, we were making fun of this bullied kid. She deserved it. She was like in 7th grade and she wrote like an original song about how hard it is to be in 7th grade.
You are just bullying a 7th grader.
Hold on now. First, she's fine because she's on TV and she doesn't even know who I am. But like, one of the lyrics of like her original song was about how when the teacher says we don't have a test today, I act excited because that's what all the other kids are. And I'm like, why are you so wanting a test? Like, are you for real? She's like, I'm bullied because I want tests. And I'm like, bitch, you're that kid that's like, Mrs. T, you forgot to give us our homework assignment like 5 minutes before class gives out. No wonder they don't like you.
They just want to go play their Xboxes.
Yeah, her whole song is about being put down in the 7th grade. That was literally like the main like chorus of the song was like, I was put down in the 7th grade. And I was like, I don't even remember 7th grade.
I got braces in 7th grade.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all
I did
remember.
get braces. Damn, but like 10 years from now, she's going to be like 7th grade. I'm not even sure I was in 7th grade. I don't know.
What's 7th grade?
Yeah, what's the fucking 7th grade? But no, it's every year. And they have that one kid that's like, I was bullied and it's just really hard. So I'm here today because I'm just trying to get my confidence, because I'm bullied. And every year they eat that shit up. They eat that sob story up. It's their livelihood. One little girl comes up and goes, yeah, I'm bullied. And they're like, gold butter! Like, they're obsessed with it. They absolutely adore this shit. And it's always so obnoxious. It's like, bitch, me too. We all were. Calm down.
Gold butter?
Buzzer. There's like a
I
special...
thought you said gold butter as well.
Nah, each judge gets a special gold buzzer, which they can hit, and it auto puts like whoever they hit it for into like the live finale kind of
Can
thing.
I just do that for everybody and just cause mayhem?
No,
they
each
still
judge
have-
only gets one buzzer. Only gets one special golden buzzer, and that's it. And like gold confetti falls from the sky, and it's a big thing, and like gold lights shine on them. But I do enjoy just watching that show and judging. It's how I get my judgment out. I just watch it, and I'm like, that top really for TV? And just stuff like that. We just sit there and judge.
Is that the one where the chairs spin around?
No, that is The Voice, which we also watch the auditions for, and then stop watching after the auditions.
Hey,
Oh,
let's add that to the Rainy wiki lore. Rainy hates bullied kids.
I was a bully. Okay, guys tried to throw me in trash cans too. You're not special.
was it hard?
Throw me in the
It was
trash.
so hard.
Empathy
No,
with that.
you move on. What a coward. No, but so gave up on Charmed. Love judging TV people. Another thing I've been doing is I've been listening to this podcast recently called Fixers Incorporated, Fixers Inc. They're on they're on iTunes if you guys wanted to like check them out, but they are pretty cool. They you could tell they kind of get like influence from Bim Bam, My Brother and Me, which is my favorite podcast.
That other West Virginia podcast.
Yeah, the other West Virginia podcast.
The less known one.
They answer questions, and a lot of them are goofy, and they kind of have like their own little shticks they do to it. They're like, you could tell where they got inspiration from Bim Bam, but they're like way different than them. Like they have this cool thing where they like roll a d20, and if it's evens, they answer a question. And if it's odds, they like do like a little bit kind of thing, like a little skit thing. They have like they'll do like different characters to like ask questions and respond to them and everything, which is pretty cool. It's pretty fun if you're into that kind of like whole bit thing, and just, I think it's like a few guys just hanging out and being goofy, and it's really fun. They have like a fun slogan and everything. They're pretty cool. I enjoy listening to them. What?
What do they fix?
Everything.
Is that like the questions?
They fix your problems. Yeah. They fix
you
fix your issues.
So if you go and be like, hey, my microwave, it doesn't make the hot anymore.
They will fix that. They can.
Wait, are you saying they'll come to my house and fix my microwave?
They can.
My microwave?
They
That's
just
what I
show
wondered.
up like the State Farm commercials or whatever.
Oh, they don't tell me how to fix it, they fix it.
They're Fixers Incorporated. They do whatever you need to do. No,
Wait,
but
they do what I need to do?
Yes.
Like
Will
a
they do
good
my
neighbor,
taxes?
Fixers Inc. is there.
No, but my favorite question that I've heard so far is that they answered the question of whether birds can drink clouds.
Well, obviously birds don't exist, so right there,
All right.
false.
I mean, all the birds died out in the 1980s, and they're all actually just drones spying on us by the government.
Dang.
Yeah.
They didn't take it from that approach, but I gotta say, I
there's
think
a drone
birds
right
can
now.
drink clouds. I think they can.
Birds can't drink clouds.
It's a cloud.
They don't
It's
go
full
up that
of water.
high.
I've
And plus,
seen
they're
birds
drones.
that high.
If you get a drone wet, it dies.
I'm sorry, can you
Birds
drink
go
fog?
that high. If you tried hard enough, yeah.
No, what?
You have to be
You
like,
just-
you have to turn into like a Kirby level vacuum to actually obtain any moisture from the fog.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
But
And then why did they build bird baths? If birds would just be drinking out of clouds here, then humans would have never built them bird baths to drink out of.
See,
humans
bird baths
just
are
like
also
to be
a lie.
bird voyeurs.
Bird what?
Bird baths
Bird
are also...
voyeurs.
Bird what? Foyers?
Voyeur.
What?
Do you not know what voyeurism is?
I don't 100%. How is it spelled?
V-O... Oh, boy. You really put me on the spot here.
Man, that was an underrated Star Trek
It's
series.
not.
V-O-Y-E-U-R. I'm pretty sure. Please don't
Just
send
Captain
me
Janeway,
emails
just-
making fun of me. I was an English
just looking
major,
at
but I
Tuvok
dropped
in the
out of
shower.
college.
Okay.
Voyeurism is the fetish of watching other people, typically without their knowledge. And we're all just
spying
bird
on
voyeurs.
people.
We're all bird
Well,
voyeurs.
for sexual purposes.
Yeah,
Get
you get
your
like
jollies
you
off.
get a little kick out of it.
Oh. Okay.
Though if a voyeur was a spy, that'd be
trying
the
to think if
perfect
I've ever
profession.
seen or heard that
you
word
really would.
before.
You try so hard. Voyeurism? I'm shocked you have not. Yeah, man, you gotta watch them birds.
I haven't either, so.
You just gotta watch some fucking birds.
What
They're
if the
bathing.
birds are watching you though? What
Well,
if
they are, because they're all
They are
drones by the
voyeur
government.
birds.
right?
Guys aren't listening
Hiding
to the
up
truth
in
here.
trees, spying on you.
That's why they can't drink out of clouds, because they're robots.
Because they'll get all like sizzly with electric and they'll
Damn.
die.
You know what? Fixers Inc. You're gonna have to update that. Birds are fake.
Right.
I'm gonna write in and ask what to do when the fake birds are watching me.
right.
Stand
No, but-
perfectly still.
But I've also been watching some Try Guys, which is my favorite YouTube channel. They do a lot of fun stuff. They're actually going on tour, and they started their own fucking podcast, Copiers. Personally, I think they're copycats. They have a pretty cool name, though, because it's like Tripod, and they're the Try Guy. It's pretty neat. But
What do they fix?
life issues.
Tripods, clearly.
Ah, of course.
Well, there's your problem. You only got 2 legs. You need 3.
Right.
They fix my heart.
two-leg tripod. It keeps falling over. I don't know how to make it work.
My tripod got 4 legs. That's a chair, but I can fix it. Just cut off one of those legs.
They did They did a recent video, though, where they used DNA testing to predict how they were likely going to die and in which order they were going to die. Which is pretty fucking nuts, because I didn't realize that we'd gotten to the point where DNA could just tell you, hey, you're probably gonna, like, die of cancer. Or some shit. It's, pretty scary. Like, can you imagine just taking, like, a swab of your spit and being like, oh, yeah, in, like, 50 years you're probably gonna die of a heart attack. We know.
Well, I mean, they have. You can do probably based predictions on if somebody, if a person's like family has a history of diabetes, or if the person's family has a history of cancer or heart disease. Then you can be like, yeah, you have increased risk of that and stuff.
Yeah.
But you could tell them that, and then they'll just be like, okay, well, I'm just not going to eat red meat anymore, and then that doesn't happen. So
it's just crazy though. Like,
yeah.
Speaking
like
of
they
DNA,
just like analyzed everything, and they're like, oh yeah, according to your DNA you have this gene, which probably means you could get breast cancer. I don't know. And it's like, oh, Jesus. It's wild.
It's good to know, though. You can take precautions against it.
Exactly.
Mammograms.
Yeah.
Still wild.
Prostate exams.
get fingers up your prostate.
Stick
So the
a
weird
finger
thing
up your
is,
butt.
or the thing with like the whole DNA testing at home, like DNA kits, like a lot of serial killers and like cold case like murder files or like murder cases are getting solved because somebody's like nephew or niece took like one of those little at home DNA kits and then familiar DNA.
That's pretty neat. I know Kyle's grandma is really obsessed with those. She really enjoys DNA kits. She's probably taken like more than one too, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's
Which is seems a
unhealthily obsessed with
little
those things. It's
redundant.
weird. She keeps trying to get me to do my
She
DNA.
gives
Yeah,
them
it's
the
as,
thing
like
about
trying to
doing
get
that
a
is
better.
gifts.
All right.
The thing about doing that is you go to an insurance company or you're switching health insurances or maybe your insurance company will ask, you have to answer like, yes, I've taken that. And that could potentially like make your like premiums go up in your like based on what sort of genetic stuff you got going on. That's why I'm
Dang.
never going to take one because
That's true.
Yeah, that's actually like I've listened to a couple podcasts about that. That's another hot topic issue is that what is the privacy, how much privacy are you entitled to with your genetic information?
Yeah,
'Cause it's now becoming widely available. If you take one of these 23andMe things, are you entitled to have that completely protected, like confidential, as if you were talking to a doctor, or is it just like out there to Google?
yeah, I definitely agree. Like it should be, confidential, but yeah, right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the Wild West right now.
There's no protections against that right now. So that's
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like, no, but yeah, your grandma really likes them. She's given them as Christmas gifts to at least 2 people in the family. Like, she just likes to see other people take them too. She's into it.
it's weird about that genealogy stuff, though, and I don't give a crap about it.
I love genealogy. I love
Who cares?
I love genealogy. It's a fun little hobby to do. Not the DNA testing, but like go back through like public records and see, okay, here's your grandmother's birth certificate.
Yeah,
or-
but you don't know them.
Yeah, I know.
it's still
I don't
fun.
really
It's
see-
like the history thing. That's why I'm a history major. I
Yeah,
find that thing
that makes
interesting. It
sense.
tickles my brain in that sort of way.
I can see you enjoying that.
I can't really describe why I like it
Oh, yeah,
or why
it
it's
makes
interesting.
perfect
But
sense. Absolutely. I don't know. I see it and I'm just like, neat, and that's about it, though.
I
Like,
love
don't
doing the
get
work for
any
it, though.
kinda-
like all the research and stuff, it's really fun.
It's not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people.
Those people
Especially
are
if
wrong.
you're into history, because that makes sense. It's a big thing of history. But I don't know. I've seen like stuff from the past, and I'm always just kind of like, okay. There's not like any like emotional attachment or anything, so I'm just like, dope. Anyway, where's the Starbucks?
Yeah. How do I get a new McChickens?
Or it's like, yo, my great grandfather did this really sweet thing that one time. Oh, there's all these great stories that are now on my head because I have the records to like
Boo.
see it.
Yeah, but
Boo.
all of our like ancestors are probably like slave owners or something shitty like that.
There is that possibility. What happens when you find that out?
It's like, well, shit.
Who's that one?
That dude was a
really,
dick.
Who's that one really popular news guy with the white hair? Cool gay news guy with the white
Anderson
hair.
Cooper?
Yes, he found out that like one of his relatives was killed by a slave that he owned. Like the slave beat him to death, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, he deserved it. Fuck that guy. Hell yeah.
Fuck that guy
You
in
go,
particular.
slave. Yeah." Like it was
As long
pretty
as
sick.
he nutted and got the line going down to where
Yeah.
it's to me, he could, anything happens after that, fine.
But that would probably be me. Like, it'd be like, your great-great-grandfather was brutally murdered by a Native American, and I'd be like, hell yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
No, but, I've been playing Hat in Time with Kyle. Good old Kyle over here.
Oh, yeah.
That is a game that, we actually bought because of a meme. That meme of, like, the main character smugly dancing to music through, like, the galaxy.
Smug dancing meme. Oh, it's so good.
It's like a meme, but, you
Dancing
know.
is what I do.
Is that
But-
like the Stargazer song? I forget. No, there was a meme.
It's kind of like that. It's like instead of the person spinning it
Yeah, it's
around in different things, it's just the girl from Hat in Time just dancing.
Yeah, smugly dancing.
Oh, okay.
But, we saw that, and I was like, oh, man, that looks fun, and we looked up the game from it, and the game actually has, like, unbelievably incredible reviews. It's kind of like a 3D platformer.
It's like
I would
Banjo-Kazooie.
describe it as a mix between Zelda, Wind Waker, and Super Mario Sunshine, or
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Kind of also reminiscent of, like, Banjo-Kazooie to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a good blend of those three games. Very enjoyable, very fun. The characters are very lively. The humor is absolutely on point, spectacularly funny. Like, just little Easter eggs and everything are hilarious. Like, I've been having a great time just exploring all the little stuff. I know there's like a radio you click on and it tells you there's a podcast playing, and the podcast is two brothers and also another brother, myself. Yeah, that. And I'm like,
okay.
oh.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see what they did.
it's
It took
just
me a
like-
second to be like, what does that mean? Aha!
Yep.
But there's just a bunch of funny little like environmental stuff that just makes the game so much more enjoyable to play. The dialogue and the little like things that are said for items and stuff like that really are just fucking hilarious.
It's an adorable little game. It really
It
is.
is very adorable.
Yeah.
The
It's been
main
out for a
character is
while.
super adorable.
Yeah, it actually came out in 2017. It came out a little bit right before Odyssey did. Super Mario Odyssey, and it was kind of eclipsed by it a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
I'm sure it
crazy.
was
I just
eclipsed
never heard of
greatly.
it. But we're really enjoying it. We've been playing it in our spare time whenever both our schedules kind of line up in the evening to play it a bit.
Is it co-op?
No, we just take turns like playing a level and watching each other and just like hanging out and stuff. It's really enjoyable though. It's a really fun game.
It's got like a perfect 10 out of 10 rating on Steam, and it deserves it.
Yeah.
It's real good.
I've been looking at the
I
ratings
remember
and stuff for it.
I
Like
would
you guys were
recommend.
talking.
Yeah, Gears for Breakfast is the studio that made it, I believe.
That's a
Yeah.
strong name.
It's a good name.
Oh.
Their logo is just literally Gears on a breakfast plate.
I thought about like dressing up as that main character for like Halloween actually.
I think that would be so cool.
It would be a really like nice, like not super complicated like cosplay, but it's definitely like
recognizable.
yeah, that's
super easy to
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I already have the brown hair. Same hair
You
length
just need
and
to get
everything.
like
Same
a
hair.
purple dress, a yellow cape, and a top hat, and
A cool hat and
an
an umbrella. And also, like, one of the other main characters is a little girl with a mustache, and her name is Mustache Girl, and she just
that's
has
right.
like a mustache.
I forgot about that.
And it's like not a big deal or anything, and it's not like the butt of any jokes or anything, and I think that's pretty cool. I always like seeing like a little bit
Yeah.
of like difference in like the norms of society or whatever, normalizing girls with facial hair or kind of hair, and it's not like, oh, why does she have a mustache? So weird. She's just like, what's up? I'm Mustache Girl.
it looks
Nice
like
to
a bad
meet you.
chef.
Well, there are bad chefs.
That
in
looks
this
like a
game.
real bad chef.
Mafia. Yep, the Mafia
yeah,
guys.
Mafia guys is like the first world drawn.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy that. Like, I was like, that's really cool that they're just like, hey, this is how it is, and what are you gonna do about it? And I was like, nice. I dig it. I can dig this.
I think my favorite moment so far was that on the main ship, on like the main hub, whenever you're in between levels, there is a computer you can log into and play like a text-based corgi game. And it was so funny.
It was a really good, just little kind of like unnecessary but environmental Easter egg kind of thing that you could play, and it's really fun. It was really funny, and just you could tell they put a lot of work into making every aspect of it fully fleshed and enjoyable, and I really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
So you're like, you are a corgi?
Yeah,
So it's
you
like
play
look
as
room
a
and it's like,
corgi.
you are a corgi.
You are a corgi.
Yeah, it's
pick
like
a
a little
direction to go.
text-based.
Like,
No.
I want to
Go
go
west.
east. There is no east. You are a corgi.
Oh, okay.
And just don't explain it. There's like, there is no east.
Right.
You go north and there's a tiger.
Ah,
You bark a tiger. Tiger mauls you. You are dead. You are
yep.
now corgi.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, it was
try.
really enjoyable. Kyle ended up beating the little text-based game after 7 tries of getting mauled by that tiger.
Oh, it was way more
you
than
thought
7.
You thought the tiger was the key. It was not. He jumped off a cliff at some point. It did not work out.
Like, clearly what I need to do is jump off this cliff, take a leap of faith. You jump off, and you die. You are a corgi.
Yeah, it didn't work out super great.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
man, that's a fantastic game, though, if anybody wants to give it a shot.
Oh yeah,
Hilarious.
absolutely. We're having a lot of fun with it so far, and we're not even insanely far into the game yet.
Not even halfway, I don't think.
Yeah, no, we're I think when we started playing yesterday, we were 12%, and we only played a few levels. But, yeah, that's it for me, though. I haven't been doing much besides that, honestly.
Nice.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle? Hey, Kyle.
Hey.
Cow.
What are you doing, Kyle?
Hey.
Cow.
I'm playing Hat in Time.
You have been. We covered that. That's
Have you now?
All right. I'll save the best for last, because something came out recently that I've already seen twice, and I'm going to...
Twice? That was your second time?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Earlier today, I went with Hannah and saw it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know you'd been twice.
Yeah.
Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're talking about it. I'll go ahead and start now.
Let's do it. We know.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, baby! Saw it in IMAX Friday, and there is no other way to watch that movie than on the biggest
You've
and
already
loudest
seen-
screen that you can see it. If you have the chance to see that movie in IMAX, go. It is a spectacle and an experience like no other.
You were just telling me that you saw it in a regular theater. You had already seen it in the better theater and went downgrade?
Yeah,
He
I
just
mean, I
wants to
wasn't
see
gonna
it
travel
as
all the way to
many
Pittsburgh and
times
see
as
it.
he can. He's already planning to see it at least 2 more times.
wanna
I don't
see
think
it-
you understand.
I want to see it
I
in
don't.
3D because I'm normally not that big about 3D movies, but I just want to see what this one looks like in 3D, and then I want to see it in IMAX again because Dan,
Yeah.
you need to see that movie,
Yeah.
and we need to see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drag you to the IMAX theater to see that. 'Cause
We'll do it, yeah.
That is the way to see it.
I need to see when Big Boss is off, and then and I'll force her to watch the first one.
Yes.
It was really enjoyable, though. But I think you're really gonna love it. I did.
Yeah.
At some point this week, I'll watch the first one sober.
Yeah, me and Rainey and Gunman went to see it on Friday.
Oh
on IMAX.
man, you know what this could kick off?
Huh.
Our super secret side project,
Super Secret Side Project.
Monster Monday, super
Monster
secret.
Monday, yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, we were talking about doing that.
We might do something.
Don't nobody
Going back
listeners.
and watching all the old cheesy Godzilla movies.
And we can go. It's like a deep well. We can go anywhere with it. Anything with a monster in it.
Oh man.
So
yeah.
even like the old Universal monster movies,
Yeah.
Frankenstein and Swamp
More
Thing,
Godzilla.
more Godzilla.
More Godzilla.
Watch the Jet Jaguar Godzilla and be like, why do we need to watch any other else? This is the perfect one. Jet Jaguar gets real big and real small,
But
then get real big again.
King of the Monsters, though, man. Oh my God. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to spoil it. Just go out and see it and just enjoy it.
Now, I
It
was
is-
informed that there was a tiny snippet that may be alluding to future projects, even involving the
movies?
Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They
Yes,
have-
that-
there is an end credit scene, by the way, for anyone seeing it. Do stick around for the end credit scene. It's at the very end of the credits.
yeah.
Now, what I'm going to ask might be a spoiler, but is this tied to the new King Kong that came out like a couple years ago?
Oh, Skull Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the same universe.
Okay.
Yeah, and they
So I need
alluded
to
it
see
a few
Skull
times.
Island.
Yeah, and it sets up the upcoming movie next year, Godzilla vs Kong. It sets it up like the very last thing you
That
see
big,
is a mural.
that big lizard and that big monkey going to fight?
Yeah.
They going to fight?
I like the way that they're setting it up. Like the directors and the studios keep talking about it as they're well aware that Godzilla, this titanic atomic breathing fire lizard thing going up against an ape, is kind of a one-sided fight. They're wanting to kind of frame it as championship heavyweight boxer going up against the up and coming rookie. They're wanting to frame it kind of like that, like the underdog fight that everyone's been wanting to see.
Okay.
That's the way that they're wanting to actually market it and stuff. And I can't. I'm waiting. I'm hoping that during Comic-Con this summer they're going to come out with the first trailer for that because it's coming out next year. And I'm definitely going to be seeing that in IMAX too. But good God, anybody out there that is remotely interested in seeing this stuff, please see it in IMAX.
Did you see it at
please.
Did you see it at Lowe's Theater up in Pittsburgh?
The what? The what theater?
The Lowe's Theater, or
We saw it at the Cinemark Galleria. Is where we saw
okay,
it.
because Yeah, the Lowe's one's the only one I know that it was an actual IMAX theater. I figure there's probably more up there.
Yeah. I'd be interested in seeing a different one, because the only complaint I had with that, excuse me, with that Cinemark one was that the seating was a little crammed.
Yeah, I was real close to the dudes just sitting beside me. But, like, I was just kind of, like, tucked in like this the whole time, just kind of, like, chilling. But, they did compliment Kyle's cool, Godzilla shirt.
Oh, yeah, I had
They
a
loved
Monster
it.
Island shirt.
Nice.
It was like a vacation shirt that said, like, come visit Monster Island. It was, like, blue and, yeah.
This is like a renaissance of the giant monster movie trope occurring at the moment.
Man, how right was, not to toot my own horn, but how right was I this year at Giant Monsters and Robots?
Oh, you were right.
I did call it.
You're on the same wavelength as whatever marketing team decided that this was the time.
Maybe
The
I am
time
the
was
marketing
now.
team.
Perhaps.
Well, it all started whenever I bought Adeptus Titanicus, which we'll need to actually play at some point soonish, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then Monpok came out.
Yeah.
Rainey. I called it Monpok. Fight me.
Oh.
Fight me.
Monster Apocalypse. You guys sound like you're talking about some kind of weird Pokemon thing.
Hey, Pokemon's coming out soon. Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
That should be a thing. Should be neat.
I'm waiting for more trailers for that, just more gameplay, anything.
Yeah.
Can I just get all Geodudes?
I
mean,
am
you
also.
can.
I want to see the final evolution of Sobble so bad. I was actually lamenting this last night to Hannah. Like, I've seen a lot of fan kind of like evolutions, and they all look so fucking good. But I just want to see that canon pretty little baby as an adult chunky boy. I'm ready.
I bet you get Rip. He get super Rip.
I hope he gets noodly. Like real noodly, like kind of like a weird kind of like wyvern kind of look, a noodly chameleon kind of thing.
Eldritch
is what
horror
I'm
chameleon.
hoping.
He just
That's
turned like
what
a little
I'm
tiny
hoping for.
Cthulhu.
I want a very noodly starter. I want to be able to wrap him around my neck like a boa constrictor, like the one that escaped into the depths of Morgantown. That's what I desire.
There's a giant boa constrictor
Oh,
terrorizing.
a 15-foot long snake that was someone's pet escaped and was roaming around the streets of Morgantown, and they could not find him.
Hello? Is this Godzilla? Yeah, this is the mayor of Morgantown. We're gonna need you.
We need you.
Please help.
Just nuke the entire city.
And then
Keep
not
this
far
monster
from,
in line.
Unsalvageable.
and then not far from here, that woman just got mauled by a black bear in like
Where?
her town. Where was that? Hold on. Keep talking. I'll Google it.
So yeah,
Because it
so the
was pretty
mayor's going to
recent.
call up Godzilla. Godzilla's going to kill the python, and then
Yeah.
he's going to play for the Mountaineers. Is that what they're Mountaineers, right?
Mountaineers, yeah.
They're going to play all the sports,
Right.
and Godzilla's going to like join a frat, and then he's
Buchanan.
going to. But that's not too far about where we had Geekend.
Yeah, Buchanan. Some woman was
no.
mauled by a black bear.
Mauled-
and, like,
mauled
her
to-
dog was like murdered by it, and like she
Is it
got
murder?
fucked up. Well,
Are they going to charge that bear with murder?
I mean, they probably should.
Did she get? Did she survive or like mauled to death?
Pretty sure Maul is dead.
The mauled usually does imply
could
dead,
survive.
but I actually don't know. You think it would say mauled to death if she was dead, so I don't know if she's dead or not. But someone actually got a video of the black bear just like running down the sidewalk, running down the road, just in the middle of a suburban town.
No joke.
Just, like, chilling.
Black bears creep me out because they got them long, lanky legs. Like, look like a bear horse running.
Ooh, she was 66-year-old. Ooh, she was in her
Not a
own
chance.
yard. Like, she was just chilling at her house. And, like, this black bear came out of nowhere and just, like, it started attacking her. And she's like, ah, fuck. Actually, she lived. It says, I spoke to her husband. She's doing better. They're anticipating a full recovery. Oh, shit. Good on you, 66-year-old girl.
Fight off
Dang.
bears with your bare hands,
She survived
like
a bear
that lady.
attack.
Good
That's
on her.
pretty fucking metal. That's a good story.
Yep.
I don't know if they caught that bear or not, though.
That
I'm
bear
pretty
needs to
sure
be in
they're
jail.
still, like, seeing sightings of him.
Call Godzilla to hunt down this bear.
Get
Right.
the
Hey,
bear and the snake to fight each other.
Why are you in Morgantown, Godzilla? Swing down to Buchanan and take care of that bear. Buchanan. Is that where that place you guys wanted to go after Geekend was?
Yeah.
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 Which was delicious, by the way. We went and it was fantastic. But, yeah, no, it's just fucking, there's a bear down there. Watch out.
Watch
Wait,
out.
did we go to? Did I go?
Yeah, you went with us, yeah. Dan
Was I
and,
Yeah,
Yeah, we
you,
just wanted to
you
get
and
home.
Gunman were both there.
yeah.
Oh,
It was, what's that place called again?
CJ Maggie's.
She's CJ Maggie.
If you're ever in Buchanan for some reason, I cannot recommend it enough. It has everything. If you just Google the menu right now, and you're going to be like, how does a place literally serve gumbo and also Mexican food and also steak and also like everything?
And also pizza.
And pizza.
I had a mushroom something pizza. I
No,
remember
you
what I ate,
remember.
but I don't remember where I was.
It was CJ Maggie's.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Got anything else, there, Kyle?
Yeah, what else you
Oh,
got
I
for
got a
us?
few other things, but I'm going to stop talking about Godzilla. I'm just going to take my word for it, go see it, and enjoy it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be dumb. It's going to be campy and goofy, but good God, is it awesome. Just enjoy it. Been playing some of this other game, found out about. It's called Dauntless. If anybody knows me, they know I'm a fan of the Monster Hunter series. And this company, I forget what their name is. I think Phoenix Labs is the developer that made it.
Never
About
heard
a
of
year ago, they made the open beta for this game called Dauntless, and it's kind of like a cell shaded look. It's kind of like a clone of Monster Hunter. They have like a different way of how they handled the monsters and the weapons and stuff like that. It's the same shell though. You're just going out and hunting a monster for 15 minutes, hour, however long it takes you to take it down. And they've had it out for beta for about a year now, and they just released it for consoles. They got it fully published, and it's a full free-to-play game now. And Epic Games is the one that published it. So they've got like a big publisher with it, and they've got a lot of traffic from the Fortnite kids. So they're like trying it out and whatnot. So when I went to try it on PS4 whenever it first came out, it was really hard to get on a server because there were so many people trying it.
That's common.
Oh,
to
is it
have.
free to play?
It's free to play, yeah.
Oh, especially free.
Oh, it
and
looks
there's-
great.
Yeah, there's a little. It's not purely cosmetic stuff. There is some like some, I forget what they call it, like gems or something like that you can make for as like armor mods and whatnot. You can pay to unlock slots. We have to pay like platinum for it, and platinum costs money. But for the most part, the game is completely free to play. It's not play to win or pay to win. And most of the stuff that you can buy with real money is cosmetic stuff. And it's pretty decent. I haven't got to play too much of it yet. I've tried about 3 or 4 of the weapons so far. My favorite weapon right now is the hammer, and they pretty much combined a cannon with a hammer. So the hammer has like ammo and stuff, and you can fire the hammer behind you and propel yourself forward with shots to like land on top of the monster.
Oh,
And it's just
it's
straight up
real
Nora
cool.
Valkyring yourself into the fight and hammering
Yes.
people.
It's wonderful. There's like combos you can do to reload in mid hits, and like every time you're in mid swing, you can fire a shot and make your swing hit harder.
Big fan of incorporating a gun into a weapon.
Yeah, if you like that, the hammer is for you. They got something called the Austian repeaters, which is just a couple of pistols that you just fire, and they run off of the ether is what they use in the story as like the big like power source for everything. It's like ether punk, like steampunk.
I could dig it. Magitech.
Yeah, pretty much. And the monsters are all made up of ether. They just pop up out of nowhere. And they got a cool mechanic for the repeaters, is that to kind of keep you up in the monster's face, even though you're using a ranged weapon, if you reload near them, you siphon off ether from the monster, and it empowers your shots. And the closer you are, the more damage you do, so you don't just stand off at a distance and fire at them. So they got some ways of kind of mixing it up and whatnot. I haven't tried many of the other weapons. I tried out the sword. Didn't really get to see how that one was. They got the war pike. It's also got ammo. I'm not sure what it's like. It's like a big spear. They got the axe. It's like the greatsword from Monster Hunter if you ever played it. But yeah, it's a fun game so far. It's free to play too. Just give it a shot. It's on every consoles except for Switch, I think. It's even out on Steam. And it's a lot of fun. If you ever want to try it out, let me know, because I've already played a few things on PS4.
all right.
Neat.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to get better at playing multiplayer games with people. So
Yeah,
might be a good litmus test to see.
would be. You wouldn't have to pay anything into it. Just let me
Yeah.
know when you do. I mean, that might have to get headphones and stuff to be able to talk to one another. But
Also, For Honor, man.
For Honor, dude. If you want to play For Honor, I will start from scratch on PS4 to do that. I don't
Okay.
know if I can transfer all my account information from Xbox One over, because I had like a bunch of stuff on For Honor on the Xbox One, and I kind of hope I could bring things
Probably
over.
be
because-
account based if you have to log into it.
I think there is like it's Ubisoft, right? So
Yeah, it's
you got
Ubisoft.
the Ubisoft
I
account.
hope so, because my Shugoki had a lot of stuff on it. He's like the big fat samurai dude with the what's the stick, Kanabo?
Yeah, you could have like there's a Tetsubo, and there's Kon something bow. Bow is stick. Tetsubo would be like iron stick,
He's just got a
Tech
giant stick
elbow.
with studs in it. That's all he's got.
Yeah, they used those things. That was a big thing in when they did the Ultimate Warrior thing for Samurai. They were like, this is their most destructive weapon. Yeah, I get it if you're fighting people in plate armor, sure, because it's going to cave it in. You're just using a blunt instead of a sharpened sword.
Yeah, he's essentially a sumo wrestler with a giant like tree with like metal plates and studs on it.
Yeah,
And
War Club. It's just it's just a gigantic branch with metal on it.
Never
It is
underestimate
fun.
the power of just caving in a person's chest cavity.
Yeah, no dexterity, all strength.
No flip
Kyle
mess.
does like
matter.
tanks. Kyle's a big fan of tank
Oh
class.
yeah, I'm always a tank. I'm always like the guy that can take hits in games. It's always my favorite role. The Shugoki is terrible for one-on-one combat. Like if you go into a duel with the Shugoki, God help you.
Oh, yeah.
The assassins will mess you up. But,
Yeah, if you can't turn around fast, then you're just going to get stabbed
yeah.
in the big of the back.
There's like a parry
Check.
system to where if your attacks are too slow, you can just the little dagger wielding chick can just parry your giant tree swings and everything. So
Dark Souls falls into that, too,
yeah.
occasionally.
So yeah, if you want to try For Honor, man, I'm absolutely up for that. I'll just have to pick up like a headset so we can just talk and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kingdom Monsters. I played a little bit more Stellaris. I haven't really played a whole lot to talk about. It's just I've got a little bit further with that first Empire I've made. And,
Yeah.
The exploration part of it is pretty much done for me. Like, there's not really
You'll
much
get to that point. Like, what year are you around? Like 180 to 100 years in?
Oh, I have no idea. I honestly don't.
Because there'll be the point where most of the galaxy's explored, and you're just using your scientists to just go through quest chains and go and do anomalies and research projects.
Is that what they're actually used for? Because I've disbanded most of them already.
Keep one or two around, and whenever you'll see like you'll have your situation log, and it'll have like a list of like active
Situation
quests. Well, they're research projects, but they're quests.
Yeah,
And
I've
you'll
done
s-
those as I've revealed them.
Yeah.
I've just done those on the fly. So I don't really have any that's up right now. I just have the big tech research ones that
Yeah.
that have taken like 5,000 hours to complete or whatever. In game 5,000 hours, not like real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been pretty fun. I played it for about a day or two ever since we recorded the last podcast, which I do appreciate about that game. I can just drop that and come back to it, and it's right.
Absolutely. And
really nice.
in the development cycle with that is you'll get your fill, and then a new update will be out, and the game completely changes, and you get to like experience it over again.
I've read that that's a big point of contention for people. That
I
they don't
absolutely
like that.
love it.
But that's something I would like too. To keep it fresh. It would not keep it as like the same stale game over and over. But
It's-
a lot of
it-
people
it's-
don't like the fact that it just changes so much like that.
And it's a shame because that's like the beauty of it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to play the same game that I played like 30 hours of like 2 months ago. I want to play something that's like a little bit different.
Exactly. Yeah, I can understand that. I really do appreciate that. But I'm still having fun with that. The just one shout out. I haven't actually got to play it yet, but the new Keyforge set. I'm a real big fan of Fantasy Flight's Keyforge. The Call of the Archon set was the first one they've had for about the first year, and they're coming out with the new set, Age of Ascension, I think is what it's called. And yeah, I think it should be out by now. I just haven't got a chance to pick it up because the local game store doesn't have it in yet.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to get my hands on that and try it out. We played a little bit of it when we were trying out YouTube streaming there.
We did try to do a YouTube stream, so
Yeah, we did.
if you follow us on the YouTubes, then you might have saw a notification or the video.
Yeah.
I liked streaming on YouTube. It was very straightforward. The only thing I'd want to figure out is how to do camera controls on the fly.
Yeah.
But
There's
other than
a lot
that,
of kinks we got to work out, but it's a work in progress.
and audio, and then we'll have to figure out how to do lighting. But it's something that we would potentially do. So let us know if that's something you'd want to see potentially, and what you'd want us to stream. Because board games, not the videos. If you want to see video game streamers, there's like a million.
There's like so many.
You pick one of those guys.
But like you said, this was a test, so there are a lot of kinks. We are working on improving, and also we will give like forewarning whenever we do them. Like, we're not just going to be like, streaming now, get good, noobs, figure it out, get here.
Yeah,
we will like be like, hey, tomorrow at this time we're going to stream or something. We'll give a heads up as opposed to just like dropping it on you whenever we've got it all figured out and we're doing like for real streams.
Yeah. Still a lot of technical stuff we got to figure out, but once we do, we'll give you a certain schedule.
Here at Tablestop Industries, we're a mom and pop shop.
With no mother or father.
Ritter, you are my mother.
Ooh.
Tabletop Orphans right here.
Tabletop Orphans.
Well,
I think the last thing I played though for my list was Magic: The Gathering Arena. I've been playing a lot more of it too. They brought back Dominaria Draft as like the ranked draft on it, and Dominaria is a really fun set to play in limited and draft form. So if you have tried out Arena, if you've given it a chance, I don't know if you've tried it out, Ritter.
no, I know Dominaria. That was like where Magic core sets would take place primarily, right? Like
Yeah.
Magic 2010, 2012, 2011 would all be in Dominaria mainly.
Yeah, like back when Magic first came out, like the first 10 years of Magic's history was all set on Dominaria. Like,
So that's
that
where
was
you
the
get Urza.
OG plane.
And like the Weatherlight and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Like the Weatherlight's actually a card in Dominaria.
Oh, is it a vehicle?
It's a vehicle.
Ah,
Yep.
sick.
It's actually like you attack with it and it gets like legends or something like that. They made the whole set legend themed, which was pretty cool.
They haven't done that since Kamigawa.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
what
that
they were
was-
saying, that they hadn't done that for a while. They actually had like a cycle of rares that were legendary sorceries that you could only cast if you had the legendary thing out. And they were like really powerful things, but
Yeah, Kamigawa was incredibly underpowered from what I understand.
yeah, not a lot of people like the Kamigawa block very much.
It
From a
like
design perspective, at least.
you get something ridiculous like a 1/1 that has tap deal 1 damage and he costs 4,
Yeah.
like for no good reason.
Yeah, the Kamigawa wasn't everybody's favorite from design
Yeah.
look viewpoint, but Dominaria is good from like it's lauded as like one of the best limited formats that people that play Magic have seen in a long time. And I've been playing a lot of it. I've been enjoying it a lot. I haven't been doing very well with it, but it's still a lot of fun. And I've been playing some of the pauper format they put on there where you can only play with commons. That one's pretty fun too. But other than that, that's King of the Monsters, all those games I've been playing. That's pretty much been it for me.
Nice.
Yeah. What you been up to, Dan?
Me?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's gonna be real short because
Oh.
I haven't been up to a whole lot since last time we recorded. Skyrim's still going on. Speaking of Skyrim, man, I got thoughts and opinions. It's a good game. It's not a great RPG. All right, so let's take another Elder Scrolls game. Let's take Oblivion. Oblivion restricted your character by forcing you to take a class, and it had a bunch of skills. The Elder Scrolls formula is the more you do an action, the better you get at it, which I love. So whenever you're playing in Oblivion, you're playing a knight, you have like 5 or 10 skills that will level your character if you level those particular skills. And sure, you could go off and do all the other skills, like say you want to, try a little bit of conjuring magic or you want to sneak a little bit. Sure, you can level those up, but they're not going to contribute to your overall level. Now in Skyrim, there are no classes, and when there are no restrictions, there's nothing stopping you from just being good at everything, and like just being overpowered fairly quickly. So, I mean, the way I've been playing Skyrim is I've been trying to set like a class idea in my head. Like, okay, I'm gonna use conjuring, I'm gonna summon in creatures, summon in weapons, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of like one-handed combat with no shield. And that's been going pretty well, but I still find myself going, well, I can do everything, so I might as well, get into enchanting a little bit, and, archery is pretty fun. I'm gonna play an archer right now. Like, there's no structure. It's just, you get all of the toys, and you can play with all the toys. And it's my biggest complaint about it.
That's a positive for most people, though.
For most people, it
that's
is.
a positive for me. I like all that stuff.
But restrictions in games, I love. I love being restricted. I love being creative in a confined area. And whenever I can just be like, okay, well, here, I got a problem. Oh, I have all the tools, so I can just solve it in any number of ways. It's kind of like, meh.
To be fair, to do good at everything in Skyrim, you have to sink a lot of time into level up all that stuff. Like, if you want to take every single tree that you could possibly level up and get it all, like, not even all the way up, just good to where it's up to a point where it's usable, that takes a lot of time.
It is an investment in time, but, like...
So most people don't even find it to be worth it, like, as a time investment to just do that. Like, they'll just say, like, I just want to be a two-handed barbarian. They'll just be the best two-handed barbarian this side of... I don't know what that word was called. Tamriel?
This side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, Tamriel. This side of Tamriel. I get it, but like, you don't have to be that good at a skill to be better than like the game itself, which is also another like issue I have with it. It after level, I'd say like 20, the game just kind of becomes trivial. Like even on the higher difficulties, it's just kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say, I seem to remember way back when it first came out, maybe a year after I had not beaten it, somebody told me, hey, when you go into the final boss fight, take the difficulty slider and put it up to maximum, or else you're going to kill him in 2 hits.
Yep.
That happened.
And then like some boss fights in that game are real janky, but yeah, but Skyrim's still going. I'm really enjoying it though. Like despite my complaint about not being restricted into a class, because I remember when it came out too, and that was a big feature. I was like, oh man, this is great. But then I played it for like 15, 20, 30 hours. I'm like, I can just be whatever I want to be. I want the game to force me to be something.
Oh, it's good that you put your own restrictions in there for it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still breaking them. Like I did the Mage's College quest line, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play this like a mage, so destructive magic. Okay. And now I'm like I'm like in a normal gameplay flow, and I'm finding myself going back to being stealthy and using bows. And if something big comes along, just summon my Daedric knight that I call Timmy.
All right.
Timmy's great. Timmy's like, oh, I smell weakness. I'm like, go get him, Timmy. Timmy's just a little demon guy. He's so good. Next thing is, speaking of Stellaris, a new update is coming out, I think, June 4th.
Oh, no.
Is that the Ancient Relics?
Ancient Relics.
Yeah.
So whenever an expansion comes out, a free update comes out.
Ooh.
So the game's going to change a little bit for you.
Okay.
Way back when, there were sectors, and there were a way that you could have the game automate itself, especially if you're building a large empire, a wide empire.
Yeah.
They're bringing that back. They're bringing some automation in. And if you noticed on your planets, how they'll develop, and then they'll like give themselves a designation like Agri World or Forge World or Mining World.
Never noticed that. Yeah, that hasn't happened.
Well, eventually it will happen.
Oh.
And the game would generate that based on what you build on it. And it, of course, like a Mining World will give you a benefit to mining. Forge World will give you a better benefit to like manufacturing alloys. Well, this way you can change it on the fly.
Oh, okay.
So it just gives you a little more control.
You mentioned the sectors thing though. That's already in the edition I have.
It is, but it's bad.
Oh.
Yeah, they're making it so you can actually control where the sector capitals are, and thus control what planets are in what sectors.
Okay. Be interesting to see that then. Because I never have used the sector tab at all.
No, it's pretty much useless at this point. You just throw a governor in a sector, like, say you got like a couple of research planets, you throw a researcher-based governor in there and just worry about it whenever he croaks.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've done.
Yeah. And the last thing is, I've been listening to this podcast called the Incorrigible Party Podcast.
What do they fix?
They don't fix anything. But what they are is they're a D&D podcast. And, you know, most boring D&D podcasts are a whole bunch of grognards that have been playing D&D for 400 years. They got like 2 people who've never played a D&D campaign, a guy who hasn't played since the 80s, and their DM who, you know, is knowledgeable in 5th ed. And they're just having a good old time playing through this guy's campaign.
So that's what's made you be like, I want to do a 5th thing.
Yeah, that's what made me, yeah.
I see your line of
Speaking of
logic.
which, Rainey.
Yes.
You interested in doing a D&D campaign?
Yeah. I really am. In fact, I'd like to actually learn how to DM it at some point because I did buy that monster manual book that like allows you to actually play as monsters, and I have a little campaign idea in mind, and I've got the whole PDF for the entire book that gives like all the stats and information about the monster you could play, and I might put a couple limitations on it, like a couple of them that are like godly. I might be like, all right, you can't be like the god guy, obviously, but
why though?
I think it would be really cool to learn how to play, and not only just play, but also like eventually it'd be cool to bust that out because I've had that PDF for a while.
Your support group for monsters thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do want to listen to Incorrigible Party because you have told me that it's very easy to learn 5th edition from them. Like they not only like play it from my understanding. They also kind of like teach it in an easy to understand beginner's way.
Yeah,
and
Liam,
that's my number one problem.
He does a really good job of going, okay, this is what you roll for this. You take this stat and you add that number to this number and you roll. Okay, well then, yeah, it's a really good
that would be fantastic.
teaching.
My number one problem is that I just don't want to open up that book and spend all that time reading through that book like I'm doing like textbook study.
And if you're playing as like a character in the party, don't got to do that.
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
kind of show up with your player sheet and
Playing
I'll
as
take
a
care of the
character.
rest.
I definitely want to play as a character first, and I love putting together player sheets, and I love making little doodles of my character and everything. I always go for the buffest, gayest girl I can. That's my thing. I love it. I love the weird little like gay girls that are like gremlins or are like buff bitches. That's my characters I always go for. And I am so ready to play a D&D campaign. I really enjoy them.
We'll have to discuss more things about it off mic, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, what movie did we watch recently?
Detective Pikachu, perhaps?
Was it about the electric investigator?
Right. Then we saw Detective Pikachu and Peters,
it
all
was
of
a
us
thing.
together as like a cool kid group. And man, did I really enjoy the fun and lively and very immersive kind of world they created where Pokemon are just kind of like there. I really enjoyed it.
An interesting way.
All right, so say you're in your little apartment, right?
Yes.
And you and your partner are making out. Things getting hot and heavy.
Oh, I thought
man.
you meant
I thought
like
you
your
meant detective
Pokemon
partner
partner.
100%
No.
as well.
I thought you meant
meant
Pokemon
100
partner.
romantic
I was
partner.
like, no,
I should preface that. Romantic partner.
Okay.
Making out, things are getting hot and heavy. That Mew is just kind of sitting there in the corner looking at you. That Meowth is just like, he's going to watch you freak. And it's like, yo, you need to get out of here.
I mean, I imagine it's the same way as like when you lock your cat out of your bedroom to get freaky deaky. Like
But
you're gonna also usher the Meowth out of the bedroom.
But that Pokemon's smart, though.
Lock.
That Pokemon way smarter than that cat.
Dang, you're right.
That
Like,
Pokemon know what you're doing.
The Mankey just unlocks the door and
Mankey's
like
like,
walks in like Mankey, and then you're like,
want to watch? They're not smart enough to not get out of a Pokeball.
I don't think it takes intelligence. It's like a piece of technology that keeps them in there.
Right, so you put them in the Pokeball.
How nervous do you get?
You know what?
Oh,
You're right. Ritter
you
solving
are
all the
right.
problems in
But
the
that's
Pokemon world.
against the whole city rules of the movie.
yeah, that's the one.
There was no city rule established that you cannot have Pokeballs.
There was.
Then
that
that's
was
it,
the
yeah.
big rule of the city that he was
The
in.
big, huge
movie
ad on the
did you
train
watch?
is like, here is all the rules for the city. Here's all the MacGuffins going on in the city right now.
Like Rhyme
Yeah,
City,
he-
we do not have
outlawed
Pokemon.
He goes to
Pokeball?
hang. He
You
goes
didn't
to
see
hang
it
out
in
to
the
a
train
city.
scene?
I missed that apparently.
Hey,
you
yeah,
make-
he's like a.
I remember they said, we live here together in harmony with Pokemon.
Yeah,
Never
that
did
was
I
that
hear them
scene.
say, no Pokeballs.
He
Yeah.
did explicitly actually say no Pokeballs allowed.
Well, that's dumb.
No,
How are you
'cause
going to walk
it's like
around and let an
harmony.
Onix just tear up the road?
Well, it's only that city. It's just a special city where the dude who founded the city believes that living side by side with Pokemon can better you as a human being. And so they are treated as equals and are not allowed to be in Pokeballs, and they are your partner,
What
not
about
your
the
pet.
underground fighting ring?
That was illegal.
Yeah.
It wasn't allowed.
Yeah, so
Fighting's
people will
not allowed
illegally
in
keep
that city.
Pokeballs.
Yeah,
Some
they
will.
do illegally, but you're not supposed to.
I would.
Like, there's illegal
You
fighting.
don't want
They're
that.
not
You don't want
supposed
that
to be
Mankey watching you.
fighting
Fuck. You don't want that Mankey watching you. Nut.
Hey, real quick, how nervous do you get when your girl brings home her new Pokemon and it's a Mr. Mime, and you're like, oh,
Man, that guy is a
Oh.
freak.
Mr. Mime's gonna marry your mom.
He's gonna
Mr.
marry
Mime's
your
gonna
mom.
steal your girl. Your girl brings home a Mr. Mime one day, and you're like, we have to go to couples therapy now.
You can never get that girl pregnant. Otherwise, that Mr. Mime is going to marry her.
Mr. Studio Girl
Yeah.
Mime.
He really is. He's just he's gonna do that weird glass walk into her heart.
Glass walk into my heart. So yeah, what you guys think? You said you liked it, Randy.
Did.
Ritter, did you like it?
That was fine.
Kyle, did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah, it was pretty good for a kids movie. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. But no, it was good. It was a good kids movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was just fun to be in that kind of immersive world and be like, man, what if? And then we all talked about like what Pokemon we would have. Mine would be a Spinda because I love those freaky little bunnies.
It's a bear.
They're pandas.
They are panda
Is a bear.
rabbits. It is said also what?
A panda is a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
Just a bear.
panda
You
bunnies.
just say bear though.
Yeah, that's
you don't
what I did.
specify what bear. You gotta say panda.
This
Panda
was
bear.
the zoological
Yeah, it's
corner
a
with Ryan
panda
Ritter.
bunny, like technically, but they're little bunnies, and they have little squiggly eyes, and they just kind of amble around everywhere. They're constantly in a state of vertigo, and they're so sweet. What Pokemon would you have had, Dan?
Geodude. Is that even a question?
Of course,
They
that's
already
Geodude's
have
got
a panda
hands.
Pokemon that is...
Pangoro.
Yeah, Pancham
Yeah.
and Pangoro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pangoro's awesome. I like them.
So Spinda has to be a bear.
What? That's like
they
saying
already
they
have
already
panda.
have a rat Pokemon. They have like 30 different rat Pokemons. Yeah. It's not like you get one panda and that's it.
They got 15 different Pidgeys at this point.
They do have a lot of different birds.
Pidgeotto, Odo.
Kyle, what would you be your Pokemon?
Oh crap! What did I say? The bug types are always my favorite. I know they're the weakest, but I like bugs.
You said Heracross.
Heracross, that's what it was. Yep, that big old Hercules beetle dude. If we're going off of the Rhyme City like rules where you can't have him in the Pokeball, you just have him walk around with you. Heracross, because he's like 4 feet tall. He's like strong as an ox. He's really cool looking. He'd help you out with some stuff.
Not that new one that's like based off of a Golisopod?
No, he's huge and he would be in the way at all points. Like Golisopod is real cool, but yeah, no thank you.
Yeah.
Look at that Geodude, though. He'd just be hanging out with me.
We were just
Yeah.
in stunned silence
All right.
looking at Dan's
Question
phone
of the day.
as he
Question
holds up
of
this
the day.
rock.
It was a very
Question
bad
of the day.
realistic Geodude.
Do Geodudes walk on their hands or do they float? That is for you at home listening or at work listening or in your car listening. Hands, hand walkie, or floaty on the Geodudes?
The great
I
debate.
feel like I've seen them float in the anime before. That might just be like what's that one thing called where you think something's real when it wasn't?
Oh,
like the trick
The
starts with an M,
Mandela.
right? Oh, the Mandela effect. It might just be the Mandela effect of like now that I've spoken to it into existence, I believe it wholeheartedly and can
Have to-
remember it. But
Well, to be fair,
I
find
swear.
the Bulbapedia article on that.
in the games, you don't see Geodude standing on his fists. You see him just floating in the air.
Yeah,
with
he
his hands
definitely
above
Well,
does
his
is he
not
floating in
stand
the
on
air
his
or
fist.
is he sitting on the ground with his hands in
He's
the
I
air?
floating.
don't
in the
know.
air.
Oh yeah, he is kind of floating.
Yeah.
I swear, I think I've
Here's a
seen him
gif of
float
Geodude
in
in the anime. Just going,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he is
floating.
clearly in the
Is
air.
he
floating.
sitting on that
Hell
mountain?
yeah.
There's
Or
no
is he
mountain.
floating?
No, he's
He's
in
just
front
clearly
of-
floating.
What's that behind him?
It's a cloud.
It's a cloud,
well,
dude.
from
It's
here,
the
I'm
sky.
across the room. It
You
looks
are
like an
across-
ice-covered mountain.
Okay, so he does float. Hashtag confirmed. Geodude has some kind of weird floating power, perhaps related to magnets.
Man, if
maybe?
Geodude can float, then he could pick me up and be my little Geodude backpack,
oh my
little
God,
jetpack.
he could. You could
Well,
just hover
wait,
everywhere.
if he's floating with magnetism, though, he'd also just ruin everything around him that's electrical.
That's
Like
okay.
your phone would
I
just
would
be dead.
I would be Amish
well,
for
that's just a
Geodude.
theory. Maybe he doesn't.
It is my impression that Geodude can do this by containing highly pressurized hydrogen gas.
Oh, he's
So
gaseous.
Geodude's just a balloon.
Oh, a rock balloon. Interesting.
That's why one of his main moves is explode.
I would never explode
right.
my Geodude.
Real quick, Ritter, what Pokemon would you have had?
It's up there, but I think a debate would have to be like an Aaron. He's a little steel dude who turns into Aggron.
Aggron is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Am I the only
Aggron
one?
would be such a pain though to have like walk around with you and stuff.
he would be, but not Aaron. He'd be cool.
Massive. A little Aaron dude, he'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd just be like having a little dogger.
Is that
See,
Aaron with an A or an E?
Aron, like iron, but with an A.
Arr. I left my iron on.
Skarmory is cool, but Skarmory also is a bird made of razor blades, so
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be super great to just
it
like
would just
have
be
around.
flapping around and then just cut all the power lines when it flew by him or something.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
Murder
super
anything else that it
great.
flies through. Just a hazard.
Yeah, good movie though. Enjoyed
Good
it.
movie.
Yeah.
Good.
See, this is where Digimon has the edge over Pokemon because when Digimon evolve,
Bold.
they can come back.
Bold.
What the hell does that mean? They can come back.
That
Well, they're
means
digital
that they can
monsters.
go back to their original base form. Like, imagine if you
Oh.
could Bulbasaur could just turn into Venusaur when he needed to, and then back to Bulbasaur.
Well, that's stupid. They devolve instantly. That just makes no sense.
Well, it takes a lot of energy to Digivolve.
Well, that's just silly.
Well, clearly, I've never researched the advanced Digimon politics.
I clearly
Is
have
there,
not.
is there
You're
a big
right.
digital war
Yes.
That's lame.
Digivore.
What happens in the thing?
Digivore is hell.
What do you think? Well, when you're first in there, it's against the Black Gears. Is your main, antagonist. They don't know what's going on. They just know that there's every now and then one of these big old black gears comes out of nowhere, slams into a Digimon, and makes them all evil and junk.
Oh, I forgot about
sucks.
that. You're right.
Yeah, and then
Who's the monkey guy that was like the main antagonist for the most part?
was Etemon.
Etemon. Yeah, he was like the
Etemon.
Elvis Presley monkey dude.
Yeah, I don't know what the etymology behind Etemon's name is,
Oh.
because Japanese for monkeys like Saru or Osaru or something like that. That's where you get the, like in DBZ when they're like, turns into the mighty Osaru. It's because they're really mispronouncing Osaru, which is just Japanese for monkey.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So, yeah.
Why'd
Actually,
you say that in an Australian accent?
That's because that's what Jace sounds like in DBZ. The red guy from the Ginyu Squad. I'm going real deep here.
Yep.
I don't know
Real
enough
deep.
about
Space
that
Australia.
to dispute it.
Yeah, from Space Australia.
If anybody out there has not seen DBZ Abridged, do yourself a favor and watch it. It is glorious.
Yeah, that's real though. That's whatever reason they localized him as Space Australian.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
I don't know if he was Kansai dialect or what, but every now and then you get them funny accents.
Every now and then I fall apart.
No.
And I need you now tonight.
No.
And I need you more than ever.
No.
Hey, Vegeta.
We make it right.
Vegeta.
Cause I'll never be wrong.
Hey,
Together.
Vegeta.
What?
Hey.
What?
Hey, Vegeta.
What?
What's our show topic?
What?
Our show topic's origin, Vegeta. Tell us
Nappa,
about
we
origins.
don't have a show topic. We're here to bow to the earth.
Wait, Nappa, Vegeta.
Oh,
Wait, we got one.
Vegeta. You.
fuck.
We got a network party.
Oh, yeah, we do have a network party that we just went to.
General Richard Nixon's massive get-together of the party of the network
It
variety.
was the 30th time that we went to Richard Nixon's
Half-convened.
house.
Yes.
The
His
30th?
glorious estate.
We've been doing this.
Since you were 0?
No, it's not. It's been bi-yearly. But some years
Oh,
we've
okay,
had more.
okay.
So
but
like
we've
15
done 30
of
of
them,
these.
15 years.
Gotcha, okay.
Fun fact: you guys actually did that on International Tabletop Day.
I did see a
Wonder if he
post
planned that.
Four Horsemen and Morgantown did about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any pictures or anything about what they did, but they were supposed to have like a big shindig down there.
Huh.
Yeah, we planned it now. Yeah, so we got 2 different flavors of network parties that the old Richard Nixon would throw. The board game type and the computer type. Actually, 3 types. Because then there is the
There's
the
consoles, PCs, and then board games. And there's always like console board game and then PC board game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it used to just be like consoles and PCs. Like, we really didn't get into board games until high school, so probably like maybe around network party 15 to 20 is whenever we started throwing board games in.
Right. Well, that would be, yeah. Network doesn't really apply for board games, but
You can't run a board game through a router. I tried. I got burnt one too many
board game
times.
burned.
Oh man,
Everything burned. I died. I am Ghost High.
Ritter Lord.
I miss Ritter.
Who?
R.I.P.
Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
Hey! Hey!
It haunts me.
Hey! Hey!
But yeah,
Stop ignoring me! I'm just sitting here.
you guys hear something?
Do you mean floating?
Wait, the ghost or ghost
Does
Geodudes?
Ghost Ritter stand on his hands or does he float?
He stands on his hands, obviously.
Oh man, heavy wheeze.
What?
Wheeze!
Wheezing?
There he is, there he goes.
What still?
Wheeze!
I got mocked my laugh, man.
It's better than
Heavy
coughing.
wheeze.
Oh.
Wheezing!
But yeah, so at the network party, we had a 3-hour-long Beyblade tournament, and it was glorious.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Many
thing of
bays were
beauty.
had.
Many bays were bursted. I don't even know. How did you guys do in your match?
Oh, my team did terrible.
Oh, really?
We did awful. We scored like 2 points every game and lost every single one.
I was undefeated. My team was undefeated.
Yeah, your team did well.
Yeah,
your team
theirs
had a lot
was
of good stuff.
Yeah.
You had a lot of good ones on your side, admittedly. I really thought you would have performed better with the one that you had.
Individually, I performed fairly well with mine, but the a lot of the other like low draft picks we got, we didn't realize until too late that they were bad because they blew up on us every single time.
Yeah, there are some. I tried to warn people what ones would I recommend or whatnot. But there were some that like people used there that I was very surprised at the performance-wise.
The one that impressed me the most was that perfectly circular one, that yellow one.
Right.
That had the really wide rim on it.
Right.
I never saw that thing go down.
Which is weird because it has no teeth. And the way these things work is they click in with teeth. Like most of them have 3 teeth. You go click, 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 and it's assembled. This one does not have that.
Oh.
This one is just, if something hits it hard enough, it's just going to spin it and blow it up. But because it has no surface whatsoever, just perfectly round, it's hard for anything to get a bite on it. So something's either got to come from the top on it or underneath it. So
It's also got that principle of being a wider circular object. It's got more angular momentum on it.
yes.
So it takes a lot more energy to actually stop the thing. And if you can't actually hook any teeth on it, then
Right.
it spins way longer.
it will purely stand on its way to victory.
degree.
It is 100% a stamina type with 0 points in defense or offense.
Yeah.
I had one like that when I was growing up. They did a similar concept, and it was also like a yellow propeller one. This was actually like an homage to it.
Oh.
But the older Beyblades used to be much bigger.
Yeah,
That one that I had was like as wide as my hand.
Really?
It was absurdly large. It was Tripio was what it was called.
I remember when I had them as a kid, though, when they first came out, the ones that we played with, they have like the click assembly where you click them in 3 times and they can actually fly apart whenever something hits another one if it hits it hard enough. The ones I had were just a solid assembly.
Yeah, this that's the whole new thing for this when they revived the Beyblade deal. It was revived with the branding Beyblade Burst. The whole idea was that you blow up your opponent, you get extra points.
Okay.
That was before when we were playing, you had 2 ways to win: outspin them or knock them out,
Yeah.
and that was it.
I remember
So
it was like really customizable with like the different weight plates that you could put in, and then also like the teeth gears and stuff you could put in it too.
Right?
Yeah, that was my experience with it
Yeah.
back then.
Well, I mean, these are still all completely customizable. You can right now take all the ones that I have and build like an unstoppable combination out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are metas for it, and there are certain ones that are like, this one is pretty much your standard for, I think they call it upper attack, is very popular right now. You get one that specifically forces damage down on the opponent and tries to like knock him into a stadium, or get a burst that way.
Okay.
But it's not crazy competitive because it's still tops. So
I'm still shell-shocked that this is still a thing, and that I've had so much fun with it.
yeah,
It is a lot of fun.
It really is.
Yeah, I could go on, but yeah, I just wondered how you all performed it because my team didn't do bad. We had some pretty decent picks on stuff. I picked some that I knew were like middle ground, that were going to do fairly well.
Your team was actually in the finals against Dan's team.
We did.
Yeah.
We almost would have won. We were 1-1 at the end. Admittedly, it was entirely down to the last match. It could have gone either way.
That last moment, though, you guys gotta talk about that thing that happened in the end.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
that
thing
was
was
the
like
thing.
straight out of the anime. So there was a stadium that we launched, and it's a blue one that you can get at Walmart. It's got kind of like an acceleration ring around one side, and it's got 4 pits, one in each corner. And there's like this little ridge between a side where there is no pit and the actual like stadium itself. And they threw in 2 stamina types, and one of them managed to land up on that ridge and perfectly balanced itself sitting there. It never came into the stadium. It's a left spin stamina. And the right spin guy was still in the stadium, still just spinning. So we were just watching these two, and the guy up on the ridge just couldn't go anywhere because he was stuck there, and the guy in the middle couldn't go anywhere because he had pointed tips. So we were just sitting there forever. And finally, at the last second, the left spin lost enough power that he bumped into the wall, knocked himself in, and hit the guy who was in the middle of the ring and knocked him out.
It was
He
so
just
good.
stole all the spin off of him and managed to spin for that last 2 seconds. It was just like this nail-biting watching, like, how is this possibly balanced perfectly happening?
There was like a crowd of 15 people in
Everyone
this kitchen
was watching
that
this
just
thing.
cheered and clapped for this little top match. It was glorious.
It was really something to see.
Yeah.
Like, 100% would have been in the children's anime shows.
Oh, it would have been.
It's like, you'd have, like, the slow fade zoom in, just, like, zoom in on the top up on the ridge, and the guy's, like, face, like, kind of water slides in. And he's like, I've got them now. This is my perfect trap. And then the other guy's, like, in the middle of the stadium. He's like, what's he gonna do up there? There's no way he can beat me now. I've got this in the bag. And he's like, ultimate technique! And he just flies in and takes him out.
Like the cut away to 4 pictures of the people with the surprise faces.
Wow.
You got the guy with the glasses just like pulling up with the glare. He's like, yes, he's balanced perfectly at the top, but as you see, he will get more power from his attack by going down.
Right.
But only said more intelligently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah.
much that paraphrased. That would probably be actually it when it's localized. That's what it would sound like.
This is a little bit off topic, but I've seen clips of some of the English dubs for the Yu-Gi-Oh! The newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Series.
Oh, okay.
It is cringy bad and hilarious.
Yeah.
Hello, my
Oh,
name is
man.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I am a 12-year-old boy. These are my grandfather's cards. Pot of Greed. Is it that bad?
It's worse than that.
Oh.
The newest thing that they've done is that all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters now have, for some reason, are themed around actors. And the worst one I've seen is a mammoth that talks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Did they?
Even saying Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes.
Is this a celebrity card game that we've been talking about?
Did they just steal our idea?
They might have.
Oh my god.
Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! I want that check in the
man,
mail.
royalty.
Konami.
Wait, no. Now that we're talking about the celebrity card game thing, I gotta mention this. So my uncle listened to the last podcast, and apparently...
Shout out to Kyle's uncle.
He told me that there actually was a celebrity card game that was back in the 80s when he was a kid. And I never knew about it. Like, I didn't actually, like, look it up to fact check, so I could be talking out of my ass right here. But he told me that there actually used to be some celebrity card game thing that didn't really quite get off the ground, but it was actually a thing for a while. So
Would they fight?
I don't
was
know.
it like
It wasn't.
it was just trading?
I think it was just trading. I think it was just like baseball cards, but...
Yeah, that was the exact argument I had, is why baseball players, why not like actors and junk like that? And I guess baseball cards probably just had longer to get like a footing.
Yeah, must have.
Also, I think they had like the whatever year that baseball player played for that card. His stats, maybe?
Yeah, some people care about that.
I guess, some weirdos.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't into all that jazz.
Let's just play Excel spreadsheet the game
Right.
for stats.
Well, that's what we walked into.
We did walk into
literally into his house, and they're just like, there's this giant screen up with an Excel spreadsheet, and you got these lemons and leaves and yin yangs and rocks and crosses and acorns, and I'm like, what is happening? And I watched for about a half an hour, still don't know what was happening, don't know who won, I don't know if who won
Yin
knew
Yangs
why
won.
they won. What?
Yin Yangs won.
Did they?
Or no, Lemons won.
Oh, the dang lemons.
I don't
still
know what
have
that
no
means
idea
in
what
terms
happened.
of people winning.
It
Or losing.
was wait for it. Coalition is the name of the game.
Oh, I'd like my headcanon better where they were just like random things on the spreadsheet and
Well,
people
that-
were drawing cards and be like, 7 lemons.
We just don't know. That could have been something that Mr. Richard Nixon did. He
Could have
have
been.
just assigned them random names. Like, didn't you guys do that with your Lego politics game at
We
one
did.
point?
We had countries, we had provinces in the countries, we had political parties in the provinces in the countries.
Did you have, like, South Portugal and North Portugal or
We
something?
had South Portugal, which was a province in burrito or guacamole.
Oh, okay, yeah. And everything was named after Mexican food.
We were really
Or
big in
Spanish food. I don't want to be.
No, I think burrito was the country and guacamole was a province in the country.
Okay.
Who had salsa?
I don't think salsa was a province in burrito. I
didn't
think
somebody,
South
like,
Portugal
take
was. What's that?
Somebody took over one of the countries, like they invaded.
Yeah, there's a bunch of wars, like every once in a while.
Okay.
So each country was a different group of people who would be at Richard Nixon's house.
Yeah.
So, like, I was over there all the time, so I had a party in one country, I think burrito, and a party in the Hogus, which was another country.
The Hogus. All right.
Ugh. And then like we'd all get together and we'd have like an international phase, like an international like turn
Right.
where like countries would invade each other or do like trade deals and stuff.
Yeah.
Richard Nixon was unsurprisingly a political science major, and I was a history major in college.
I
And
see.
there was
So
a lot of
that's just-
beer involved, and
Right.
this game was beautiful and great. And I was talking to Richard Nixon, and he was like, "Yo, I still have all the pages with the history of the last like 40 turns we took of all the countries." I'm like, "Please put that back up on your website."
Yeah, find it somewhere.
Oh man,
Yeah, this guy takes these like network parties seriously.
Yeah,
they're playing out to a
business.
T.
Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% serious business.
I mean, at this point, he's ran 30 of them, so he's really good at running an event, especially for like 15 to 20 people.
Was only the second one I've been to. I was surprised at how much of a handle he had on all that stuff too.
Yeah,
Really good.
he's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
That's just what he does. He likes statistics. He likes keeping track of everybody's points.
Yeah.
Like we have a point system. You have points.
I do?
You have points.
For showing up, you get a
For
half
showing up,
point.
you get half a point.
Oh, how about that?
And there's been like
You're on
a
the board.
tier list of all of his friends who've gone to these things forever. I think it's like 30 people
I'm
now.
a half a point away from 10th slot.
I lost third place and now I'm barely hanging on in fourth place.
Oh, huh. Pretty high up there.
Well, of course, number one is his brother.
Yeah.
And number two is him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool though.
Richard Nixon Jr. and Richard Nixon.
Right.
Then Richard Nixon Sr. somewhere.
Right.
And Mrs. Richard Nixon is somewhere there too.
Yeah.
One thing I really appreciated that I just got to mention, we just walked into the backyard just like talking, and they had a throwing target set up there, and I absolutely love just throwing axes and knives, and they had the greatest assortment of throwing axes I've seen so far. I went on eBay and Google and everything trying to find these axes, and they're out of production. I can't find them anywhere. I found one on eBay, but I spent maybe about like a total time of 2 hours at that place, just doing nothing but sitting back there and destroying that throwing target.
Yep.
It was that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then Mr. Richard Nixon Sr. pulled out those pellet guns.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
So I don't know,
for
we're
like
just like,
10
here's some
minutes.
pellet guns, guys. It's like, all right.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a great time.
I will know to bring pellet guns next time.
It was really cool playing Nixon's game that he made too.
Yeah, that's like the third or fourth iteration of that game, but it worked out really well. It'd be a nice small box game.
I liked it. It was kind of like you drafted like these fantasy classes like warlocks and berserkers and fighters, necromancers and whatnot.
Yeah.
They had like little stats on their cards, and there was like 8 people. You'd split off into 4 pairs and fight each other and then you go to another draft and get some more people and upgrade the ones you had. You rolling dice and using little cubes for actions and stuff. It was a fun game.
Yeah.
I liked it quite a bit.
We
I
should,
wonder,
I'm
I
sorry.
wonder like a minimum player count for that. I wonder if like 4 is like a good minimum player count.
I was looking at his sheet and it said that 4 was the minimum. He had like a block tier for how many people should play it and what you should do if there's X, like I think 6 to 8 players. And he had like 4 to 6 and like 6 to 8. There was like 2 different tiers of what you do with it.
I see.
Yeah, had, like,
Next-
a huge printout sheet for that. It was real cool looking.
Next time we get together with him, I'm going to ask him to bring his other board game, the Steel City Soft Drinks.
Oh, the speakeasy thing.
The Prohibition Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
Because that is so good.
You got
It
me
is
interested in that.
so good.
You really got me interested in that. I want to play that.
Like,
We
you
should get
buy...
him to sponsor us.
Hey, Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
We'll promote advertising. Pay us.
Like, it's like you...
Hilarious.
It gets cutthroat. Like, it's insane. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
I just have to experience it.
It
Like, I just wanna
you
see
really
it.
do.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Guys want to talk about Origins now?
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's me. I'm Rainey. I'm back from the dead.
Rainey
We're talking
is
about
back
Origins.
from her...
I wasn't at the Richard
Hold
Nixon
up.
thing,
Yeah,
so
she wasn't there.
I took a little breather.
You playing an anime game while we're talking about Richard Nixon?
I'm not playing my anime game. I'm playing my Cat Warrior game, which is a new game that I started
Do you
playing.
dress up your cat warriors? Is
They
your
do
cat
have
named
little
Bramblepelt?
outfits.
Bramblepelt.
No, unfortunately, they already have names. But man, Bramblepelt's a good one.
Bramblepelt. I'm gonna name my child Bramblepelt.
Hello, welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Origins time. We're going to Origins in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Less than 2 weeks, even maybe. No, about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
We got our hotel booked. Most of us got our tickets. You slowpokes.
We're getting our tickets tonight. We're gonna be there. We all got matching shirts with like
Hell
our
yeah.
little art on it.
Hell yeah.
So Saturday of Origins, we'll probably be wearing those. First, I'm gonna be wearing my Sick Pride Parade T-shirt. Catch me at the Pride Parade if you want to do some cool hangs. And then I'm gonna switch into my Cool Podcast T-shirt, and we'll all wear our Cool Podcast shirts. And we also got business cards made because we are so full official.
So
and we're
cool.
gonna
So
would it be like super lame to sign those? Yes, 100%.
Yes, it would
That's
be.
such a douchey thing to
I'm
do,
not going
right?
to sign anything.
Let me just sign these in case they're worth like 50 cents in a couple of years.
They're never going to be worth 50 cents.
You have to give someone 50 cents to take it.
We will give out business cards. Catch us with our cute little cards and our cute little shirts. We'll look like the people on the shirt.
We
wow.
will.
And
Yeah. So
Good
if
artwork
you're
done by
listening-
Rainey over here.
Oh,
Did
me?
a great job with those.
Oh, you're sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you're going to be there and
Or
you
be
want to hang
square.
out with some weird people, weird old people, just you can shoot us an email at our
Speak
email
for
address.
yourself.
What, the weird part or the old part?
Speak for yourself.
You're going to get them creaky knees one day. You're going to walk upstairs and it's sound like a Stretch Armstrong.
Ain't gonna happen to me.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Happens to everybody.
I am exactly like 2 years younger than you.
Yep, and then 2 years from now, you're going to need Stretch Armstrong knees.
Who are you?
I'm telling
I'm you, but older.
But anyways, if you're going to be there and want to, like, see what we look like in person for whatever reason, you sick pervert. I'm not going to kink shame, but you sick pervert.
Oh.
You can send us an email at tablestoppodcast@gmail.com.
I'm pretty sure it's just Tablestop Cast.
It's just Tablestopcast.
My gosh, we
at
forgot to do the
gmail.com.
promos last time, guys, and we just forgot it all.
We did.
It's tablestopcast@gmail.com.
We're gonna
Yeah.
have to get a
So,
whiteboard.
we'll be
set
there
it up with all the
Saturday
things.
and Sunday. We're not going as long as we did last year because we did Geekin', but we will be there Saturday and Sunday. We're open to meeting up with people, just hanging. We'll be trolling around the convention center. Catch me with a sick boba tea in my hand and hopefully some cool art is the real dream.
Hell yeah. So, you guys plan to do any events, or are we just going to walk around and meander and...
I'm doing a Keyforge event. I definitely want to do one. Like I was planning on doing the vault tour that they had there, but that is 8 hours long, and I would not have time to do anything else. So
I think I'd join you for that Keyforge event.
yeah, there's quite a few just 2
Like a
3 hour
sealed.
events that are going on. That I just want to.
I'm gonna probably break away and just see everything in there that I can.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
I'm gonna meander the hell out of that place. I'm gonna get lost in the booths. I'm gonna get lost in the sauce. I'll be like,
Booths?
where am I?
Is that a thing kids say?
Booths.
I was like, I didn't know they allowed drinkings.
Booths.
Oh, we could do lots of drinkings.
Oh, Saturday night, I'm gonna get so smashed. I'm gonna get sloppy, boys and girls. I'm gonna get sloppy, and then I'm gonna try to be like, let's go on a walk, even though it's 12 a.m. And you guys are gonna go, that's a really bad idea. And I'm gonna be like, we're young, let's do it. And you're gonna be like, we're not that young. We can't just walk around a city we don't know at 12
Like,
a.m. while
downtown
drunk.
Columbus at midnight. We can't
Yeah,
do that.
you're gonna have to stop me because I know drunk Rainey at 12 a.m. is gonna be like, let's go explore the cities like one of those cool artsy movies. This is our time, and you're gonna be like, no, Rainey, go
That's
lay
how you
down.
get mugged.
What
That's how you get
artsy
trafficked.
movie are you talking
I
about?
don't know, just those artsy movies where
bringing
like
the duct
young
tape.
folk like walk around
Finn.
the city and are like, oh, I'm so free. I'm so young.
Oui, it's
don't
in
have any
French, by the
rules.
way. That was me trying to speak French.
No, there's no
one.
rules. There's no chaperone. Like there's like like I mean, I'm 23, so I'm still like fresh out of like you go to a school trip and you have to like do whatever the parent chaperone tells you
Am
to.
I the parent chaperone? I don't want to be the parent chaperone.
I'm still pretty new to like I didn't go on a lot of vacations until I like the past couple years with you guys, so I'm still relatively new to like there are no boundaries. I can literally go wherever I want and I'm not going to get like in trouble.
You should be
I'm
like
allowed.
8 to 10 years out of the parent chaperone thing, though.
No, I'm talking to chaperones in general, because even in college, whenever you would go on like college trips, like it was still like, all right, you're not allowed to go here and here, and
Wait, really?
you need to meet up at this. It's like we're going to this exact place, and you need to meet up back with us at this time. Like, the freedom you get is you're allowed to walk around the place, like, on your own, like the museum or something on your own, but you still have to be back in an exact time, and you have to go to this exact museum, and then this is lunchtime. But this is like pure freedom, dude. You could do whatever the fuck you want. There's nobody to say, well, at this time the bus is coming, so we gotta... No, fuck you. I'm going wherever I want.
Well, I mean, we still have kind of restrictions, like the exhibit hall closes at 6, and...
Well, yeah, that's just general, like... But after 6, man,
There's
entire
no rules.
city is my oyster.
There's no rules after 6.
I'm going to Duck Donuts.
Donuts.
It's a Subway, but for donuts. We're going there. I'm gonna get so many donuts. I'm breaking my diet for that weekend. It's allowed. I will break my diet for that one weekend, and I will eat 12 donuts to myself. I'm excited. I'm full hype for this.
You're
love
not
the
allowed to
city.
be sick.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
I'm definitely
we're
gonna
sharing a
throw
room
up.
with Ritter. We're all sharing one room.
Ritter, you're going to have to plug your ears because I'm definitely throwing up.
You're gonna just tell me, and I will just walk out of the room, and I will go wander the city at midnight.
That's the last time we ever saw Ritter.
I'm not like a freak, I swear. I throw up very easy. I have a very weak stomach, and I just throw up like so unbelievably easy.
Go find
so
that one guy.
it's
Be like,
raining.
hey man, what are you doing out here? Oh, roommate's throwing up. Oh, me too.
Oh, and then
I get that.
and then you guys will share a little stare and then
but
they'll
what's
be like,
that?
"Oh, that's a sick shirt you got on there. Do you like the animes?" And you'll be like, "I do like the animes."
I don't even.
And then
own a
he's gonna be like,
single-
"Hey, you
then
wanna get
maybe
some
your hands
coffee?"
brush, and
I don't
it's
own
a
even
And
a
then you're gonna
single-
go on a due date with some stranger you
I don't
found.
even own a single.
You're gonna go on a due date with
I
some
don't
random
even own
guy,
a single anime
Catharsis
shirt.
in Columbus.
and then you're gonna leave me in the hotel room.
You just said my full name. Oh no!
You follow the Facebook page; they could easily find you.
I don't follow the Facebook page.
Why don't you follow the Facebook page?
How
I
dare
don't know.
you? We need those likes.
Do your part.
Own work.
We need those
Not
likes. We only have
100%.
like 6, and 3 of them are us, and one of them
Oh.
is Hannah.
And there's that guy from Michigan.
Yeah.
No, Illinois. Hey, Illinois guy. Thank you for making up 6% of our listens.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I want to thank our oldest fan, that sweet old elder
Oh,
gentleman
that old
that
guy
likes
is
all
just
of our stuff.
so sweet.
We care about you deeply, dude. We don't know what we do without your support. You specifically. You know who you are.
Thank you.
There's gonna
Thank
be
you.
like 5 old dudes listening to it, like, oh, it's me.
That's me. I'm going to write them a letter.
Thank you for liking our Facebook posts. There's only one of you that did that, so you know who you are. You know
Yeah.
who you are.
Oh,
Early
snap.
days of this podcast. This is going to be unlistenable whenever we have like 100 in the bank. And
You
somebody's
think
like,
we're
I
going
want
to have 100 in the bank?
I think we'll last for a while.
Ooh.
I admire the confidence.
I do too.
Indeed.
I thought you meant 100 listeners also.
No, I
just
meant
now
like 100
realized you meant
episodes.
100
Oh.
episodes. Yeah, we're going to keep doing them whether you listen or not, so
I don't even care if you're listening right now. I do.
I do. I do so much. Like, I care so much.
Sometimes at night I think about you listening to me.
Ooh.
You're
I
gonna have
don't.
to stop.
Ooh.
You're gonna have to stop.
Oh man, you leaped over that line.
I did.
Like,
All right, I'm gonna
Vaulted.
veer this back on track. But Origins, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there with our shirts. We'll be there with our matching cards. We're gonna hand them out, and
They all
people
match?
are
I
gonna
checked
be
every single one.
like confused
We're
a
gonna,
bit,
like, ninja
but
star
we're
throw
gonna
them
do
at
it
you.
anyways. Oh, we are. We're gonna hide them in things, and people
Hey,
are gonna
are
be
we?
like, "When did I get this
you're gonna have to
business
sneak
card?"
them into those $20 surprise boxes.
Exactly.
We have to get somebody to distract them, and you just go over and be like filling the boxes with these cards.
I bet you we
It'll
could.
be like that. The scene in the
Hannah's going to
Grinch.
be there. Hannah has like 100 on her sleight of
She's
hand
not
skill.
gonna be there. Don't
Oh,
remind
she
me.
won't be
Shit.
there.
Oh,
I forgot.
Oh.
It's gonna be like that scene in The Grinch where he's throwing the mail into the wrong slots, except with me and business cards. Excuse me?
What?
What?
Did
What
you
was
just
that?
do a
Was that
thing?
code?
No, I was.
Or-
No,
oh.
I had an itch in
Dan
my hand.
scratched his wrist when I said that and gave me a face like it was code for something. Like
No, I
don't
had
know
an
what
itch.
that
I was like, that's a
Oh.
weird itch I have on my hand.
Oh, okay.
And I was thinking about the Grinch. I was-
The Grinch live action
Yeah,
movie
I
where he
was
goes
thinking-
into town. He's like jury duty.
Mailer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be like
You know
that.
Cindy Lou Who ended up being like a rocker chick?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
the
pretty
She's
awesome.
the main singer for Pretty Reckless.
Yeah.
pretty
Yes,
damn
that
dope
band is
now.
awesome.
No, but if you're eating a sandwich at Origins and all of a sudden you're like, what's that paper taste? Look, because I'm there, and I just slid a business card into your sandwich. You're welcome.
I will buy the first listener who is like, "Yo, I listened to you."
Won't
I will buy them
anything.
I will buy them something.
That was my disclaimer.
You know what I'm going to buy them? I'm going to buy them my attention.
Oh.
I'm going to buy them.
I'm going to one-up you because deadass, if you, find me, I will buy you a nice treat. Like
we
a
will
nice
all steal you that
donut or
puppy.
something.
That puppy is still there. We will.
Puppy's still there.
Puppy, is the puppy even alive anymore? Does anybody remember to feed
we
that
haven't
puppy?
checked on it in a while.
Whose turn was it to watch the puppy?
Well, it was a sticker, so it's fine.
You got to feed that sticker though. That
No, you
sticker
don't feed the sticker.
hungry.
Those stickers eat glue.
Stickers
Horses.
are glue.
I mean, the glue is on the sticker.
1,000-yard stick.
Just slurps it up. Find me
Well,
at
then.
Origins. I'll buy you a fun little tea or maybe like a donut for being sweet.
Oh,
Just
man.
come up and be like, "Are you Rainey from Tablestop?" And I'm like, "Oh, you got me. Take this donut."
Contractually obligated. You
Yeah,
heard it here, folks.
you heard it here, folks. The first one listeners to come up to me and say hello gets a free little treat of your choosing.
Just the first one that pops up, just like, oh, I'm sorry, somebody already got me.
Oh,
Right,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Thank
Did
you
you
for
not see
listening,
that guy
though.
that just walked away? You missed him. He blended right into the crowd.
Yeah.
Now I'll buy you a little donut or a little boba tea. We can be boba tea buddies.
tea buddies.
Boba tea buddies. It'll be fun. No, find me. Find me. Please.
Please.
Please help. Help, I'm lost. Please find me. No, but that's it. We'll probably I don't think our next podcast is going to be until after Origins, actually. So
Yeah, probably.
we will do a fun little Origins wrap up, which will probably be even more extensive than the Geek End wrap up because we're going to see a ton of stuff and we're definitely going to want to talk about it. Until then, you can email us at tablestopcast@gmail.com if you want to get more information about where we'll be at Origins. You can follow us on Facebook at Tablestop, Twitter is Tablestopcast, Tumblr is tablestop.tumblr.com. We are hosted on Anchor, but you probably already know that. We also got YouTube. We're getting episodes up on that. YouTube is one episode behind our Anchor and our other stuff, though, to try and get more people filtered into that. So if you're like, dang, I wish there was another episode, and you're listening on YouTube, odds are there's already one up. So go hit up our Anchor, bud. We also have a subreddit now, Tablestop. It's our Tablestop. Give that a follow. I am a moderator. Dan's a moderator. Kyle's a moderator.
Hi.
I do
Ritter's
not
not
know
a moderator.
Ritter's Reddit
not a
information to
moderator.
add him, but who knows? Maybe by now he'll be part of it. I don't know. Who knows?
Nah, probably not.
Probably not.
Reddit, do you know what Reddit is?
Nah.
Cool.
Oh.
I don't either.
Oh. You guys introduced me to Reddit.
Yeah,
Damn,
I was like,
you
yo,
Reddit.
here's Reddit, and like before the recording, you're like, I got 1 million karmas, and I got 800 golds.
I have 10,000 karma, thank you.
Gold right
I gotta be, I'm the social media marketer. I gotta do
You
my
are.
job. No, but that's about it. Anybody wanna add anything?
Streams maybe at some point.
Streams maybe at some point. We'll keep you updated on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, all of our little bits and everything. We will make announcements and stuff like that. If you guys want to see us stream any specific board games, please email us. We are working on how to get that stream quality up. So we are currently in the works with that, and we'd love suggestions on what you want us to do.
Fuck you, we're not streaming Fork Knife.
Oh.
No Fork Knife on this stream.
No fork knife, no loot boxes allowed.
I don't open loot boxes. I don't play the Fork Knife on the stream. I don't play the Minester. I don't play Minesweeper. We're not playing any of those games.
But if you send me a loot box, I'll open it for you. I'll open it and record myself opening it, but I'm not going to pay for one. But
That's
if you
literally
send me
what he said. That he wouldn't do it.
But if they,
I said
if
I
they
wouldn't,
buy,
but
if
somebody
they
else
buy
could.
me one, I will definitely open it and be like, "Thank you, it's free." What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Am I going to say no to free shit? Nah.
Okay, bye.